And we are back on Fire Live. It's Wednesday, posing as Tuesday. And how's everybody doing here?
I'm feeling
Hi,
great.
fine.
Nice. Okay, good.
I'm feeling this could be the greatest day of my life.
Yeah.
Besides my wedding, obviously, and like the Steelers Super Bowl.
Oh, you
2010.
finished Bachelor in Paradise.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Exactly.
No,
yeah.
Bad
What
Boys.
do your wedding and today have in common? A lot, actually.
A lot, a ton. Yeah.
Bad Boys 3, the trailer dropped.
Bad
We will
Boys for
talk
life.
about that for sure. Jared Haibon will be on, not only talking about movies and other things, but yes, JPJ has made the turn, in my opinion, and is back to Hulk Hogan status.
Yeah.
You watched?
I guess.
I watched both last night because I wanted to talk
I'm
to you
up
guys.
to date, too.
Good. So, and don't worry, everybody who hates this show, it's almost over. But we are going to talk to, because I'm so curious to talk to Jared about it, because I want to know. There's some things that I like. First of all, they make it seem like it's it's week to week, and that's the way they used to do it for Bachelor and Bachelor. It's like, oh, last week, when in reality it was like 2 days ago. Like, how long do they really fucking shoot this show? Like, how long does it take?
Yeah.
How long are they there for? Because people are getting engaged and shit, and it's like,
Well, supposedly, because Amanda, a bunch of these girls are moo
models,
right?
what does that mean?
They
Show
work
Me
for-
Your Moo
Show Me
Moo,
Your
which is
Moo
the
Moo,
company that Amanda,
my wife
the
works
movie
for.
company.
Right. Okay.
Right. So one of them has had to go to therapy after Bachelor in Paradise because she felt like she was being brain manipulated by producers.
She didn't feel like
She was.
She was.
Yes.
And this is what
Correct.
happens on these shows. And that's why when people say, and you said it, and you
Cabin in the Woods.
But but what you said, and a lot of people say that is wrong. Is it's scripted and it's not. It's 100% not scripted. What it is,
You can't script
You
this,
can't
that
script it. You can't say
morality.
here. This is not what happens. Hey, go in there and I want you to say these words, like WWE does with their wrestlers.
Right.
That does not happen.
Yeah.
What they will do is, you walk up to me and you go, "Oh, Roxy is just—it's not working with you with us. It's just not working. I got to send her home." Well, think about that. Is she really? Because the reason why, if you didn't really give it a shot, Josh, if I want her to stay because
Do
she's
you
the
guys
villain.
know I shot a reality show pilot very similar?
And am I right or what?
Oh my God! It
Yeah.
was years ago when I was in college, called Greek for Life.
I remember.
God.
I hear it. Yeah, I
And
remember it.
it was like the most insane thing because all of a sudden you're no longer who you are. Like I think I'm a pretty strong-willed. Like do what I want to do. Nobody's going to tell me.
They're good at that. They're good at it.
It's something about like
Except cheese.
Oh, do you want another drink? What do you want? Oh, yes, I do want another
course,
drink. I
they
wasn't
fired-
thinking about
yes.
that, but now that you said it, what do you think? Do you think that he's being sneaky?
Right. You just
He
having a-
must be being sneaky because why would you ask me that otherwise? He's sneaky.
because they befriend you.
Oh,
and
my
And when
God.
you're friends with them, and then you're like, okay, yeah. And that's the thing. I was there at one point, and this person's not there anymore, so I don't mind saying it. And he was running stuff. And they wanted me to start doing more on, because I was when I was working for Bachelor, I was in post, so I was doing a lot of things and watching stuff, and I was basically working on schmoes.
So
when I
you're
should've
never
worked. But
never interacting with the actual contestants
until they asked me, they called me and they asked me if I wanted to work on Bachelor Pad, which was the precursor to Bachelor in Paradise, and I did. And I
What's
was
the
on.
difference? It was just not on an island.
It was more rock of love, trashy.
Okay.
And they realized after like 3 seasons that it was way off brand because it was way more like rock of love. I saw people fucking. Like, it was like 100%,
Yeah.
like 100%, like and you feel bad watching because you're like it's your job.
that's
You have to sit there.
amazing.
You're like, watch this scene, and I'm just like, am I gonna get arrested? But anyway, like that type of stuff, and then they canceled it because it was still doing good ratings, but ABC like we're feeling like MTV here, and then they came up with Bachelor in Paradise. But anyway, so I worked on season 2, and I started to befriend these people, and I'm like. But before I get into that, I went into the guy who they wanted to prep me and wanted me to be one of the guys who's working on Bachelor and Bachelorette and travel. And I was right before Vivian was born. I didn't want to travel, but the guy said to me, he was like, the one main thing that you have to realize: these are not people; they're characters. Yeah. And I understand as a producer where he's coming from, but that didn't sit well with me.
I hear you. No.
because they are people.
Because they are, and I wind up.
And they don't know that they're being treated as such.
Yeah.
And they're being watched like zoo animals the whole time, right? And they in that show, it's an unscripted, or is that the name of the show? What's it called?
Unreal.
Unreal. Like a lot of that is it's like the heightened version of what really goes down. Like the silly. I saw season 1. Like the girl gets up on the roof and then she dies. It's like they don't let anyone go out of their sight. There's no fucking chance anyone gets on the roof. I'll
Right.
tell you that.
Well, do you remember
People going to the craft service table.
Sure.
You know, you're a wrangler.
Did you watch Jersey Shore ever?
here and there, but not like religiously.
I was pretty into it.
I feel like it depends on what show, if they're letting you, to what extent do dangerous things. Because on that show, I felt like many times somebody almost died.
But also
fights and stuff. But that was kind of the point of that particular. I'm talking about Bachelor.
I was going to say
specifically.
Plus MTV. The difference between MTV and ABC is night and day.
Well,
obviously.
the first line in your MTV contract, the very first line, as somebody who has almost signed one of these, it says, "If you die, we are held responsible in no way, shape, or form." It says by 0%. It's the number one, the first line when you get your contract. It said that.
So good luck is the last
and
part.
And most reality shows say that exact same thing.
Yeah, we cannot.
Yeah.
Be
But here's the thing: is
no what.
I think I've said this on this show before, and some other shows, whatever. Christian thought I would have been great on The Bachelor.
You would have,
or Bachelorette,
completely agree.
or whatever.
You would have been awesome.
I had him go in. He met with the producer.
Yeah, so I go in for the producer. I meet with the producer, and he's like, "Dude, honestly, flipped out for me." They brought me in 4 separate times.
Yeah, he texted me. The guy, I won't mention his name, but he's. And
I saw him at a movie theater a while back, and he looked at me, and I was like, "Bachelor," and he was like, "Yes."
I also want to hold that thought there too. I do want to preface the fact that a lot of these people that I worked with over there, fantastic people,
awesome
people. Really good people,
good at compartmentalizing,
and their job was to do. You either had to do it or not. And I'm not telling you that they do form very good relationships with these people, and they become very friendly with them. But their job is to also make them do stuff and get them to do things, and sometimes it works.
Good television.
That's what it is, and it's like you have to, like you said, it's using the superpowers to be able to have that conversation and say, look, do you feel this about Angela? Not really. Why not? Well, I don't know. She doesn't seem like a good mother. Really? Because I had a good conversation with her. And
Seems
she
like
said,
a pretty great woman.
And what she said to me, she said she was looking to be a mother. She said that to you? Yeah, she said that to me last week. When did she say that to you? Well, we were having this thing about, wow, I never really knew that about her. I'm like, you should open yourself up and go talk to her about that. You know what? I will. And then you have that conversation between Fuckface and Angela about that's what it is.
But so I go in.
Sorry, I had to get that out.
So I went in for I have like 4 separate times, and they kept bringing me in.
What year are we talking?
2012, maybe.
Between that and 2014, even maybe. I also sent in 3 ex-girlfriends.
Yeah.
Did any of them go?
It's nice of you.
Some of them got very close.
Yeah.
And none of your exes were actually on the show.
I know that I was very, very close because they kept bringing me in and asking. Like the interviews got longer and longer and longer.
Yeah.
And I could see myself mostly because I've interviewed people, so I know where their train of thought is going.
They dropped the ball.
And they
dropped the ball.
This at the time where you would be a contestant, or you would have been the best?
No. He would have been a contestant. He would have been there in night 1, and they fucking dropped the ball.
Is it that hard to get on the show?
To explain how they dropped the ball?
Yeah.
How is he not on the show?
Well, okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's like all these characters out there. First of all, because here's why. Not only is he and he's a good-looking guy now. He was better looking in 2012. Someone's at my door.
So you got that going for you.
Yeah.
Someone's knocking at my door.
So he.
I just turned
that was
30, I think.
That's maybe whatever it was, and then he's also even more of a lunatic then than he is now, right? And he is never one to shy away from talking shit.
Yeah.
Right. So if
thanks, man.
No problem. If there was a guy out there that was like. It shows up in a banana costume. Who's the guy I'm going to take in the interview to talk about the douche in the banana costume? Makuga. Who do you know as a producer you're going to get the best content out of? Makuga. Hey, have a couple drinks and you want to jump in the pool off the roof? Yeah, I'll do it.
You're also missing the part that at the time eligible Bachelor, like she could have very much so liked him, like not that
100%. And then he could have gotten the first impression rose.
100%.
They absolutely dropped the ball.
Happened?
They probably just thought he was just like a normal guy or whatever too.
Well, that's my real question. So you didn't get the gig from them. It wasn't you saying, what? I'm out.
No, he wanted to do it.
I feel like it wasn't normal guy. It was that he wasn't a normal guy. He was in the entertainment space.
No, they take people like that all the time.
Really?
All the time.
Models, actors. Because I always thought that was the reason, because I really didn't have a job per se, that they would have gotten shit, because really at that point I was acting, auditioning, podcasting.
You're a podcaster, and podcasting hadn't really popped the way it did today.
Correct.
So it would have been interesting.
That's
to
what
have
it said
in
your lower third.
Yeah.
Podcaster.
I mean, either that or like we probably would have done something silly like Pittsburgher.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I'm going to talk to. We'll bring this back up to Jared when he comes in today. But
I've really thought about it. I've really thought about it.
I can still get you an audition.
But I just don't know if I like. You have to stop.
You're in the perfect age wheelhouse too.
No, I'm too old.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Everybody on the show seems like they're 21, 22, 23.
No, they're 32-year-olds and 35.
I feel like you have to quit all your jobs.
You have to take breaks, not quit all of them.
But Roxy, you always complain about not making enough money at all your other jobs.
That's
when
true.
you make more money.
Is that true?
Yes.
No, but this is what I said to my.
Eventually, you will make tons more money. Once you get on The Bachelor, like that Hannah G girl, right? When she got on The Bachelorette or whatever.
Is that the one with Dylan?
I think, Dylan.
Yeah.
The hot, skinny blonde.
Yeah.
Okay. She's a Mumu model, right?
Okay.
Before
that was the one last. Okay, I see.
She was on The Bachelorette, and or whatever. She gets on before the show started. She had about 45,000 Instagram followers.
Hold on, let me turn into this guy. Stop talking about Bachelorette. Just wait. Hold on. Wait.
Go ahead. It's a pretty interesting stat. She gets on the show, Hannah G. It says Hannah G throughout the show. Amanda was like tracking. By the end of the first episode of The Bachelor, she had 180,000 Instagram followers.
Right. So listen. So and this is the point I made to my wife last night. I said when I started, because I had never even fucking watched a frame of this show before dating my wife, right? And so watching it, and this is before social media, anything too. These people would show up on the show. They get their 15 minutes of fame. They have a couple things. And then you never hear from them again, right? Some of them maybe pops and do some stuff. You see them on red carpet, like that girl Kelty or whatever. She's like this. I don't know what she's on Access Hollywood, whatever she's huge now, right?
Yeah.
But now over the last like 3 or 4 years, they all blow up because they're Instagram following. They model, they do all these things, and so the break that, especially you, the break that you would take in, like, let's say you go home night one. So it's 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it might be.
The first night it takes 3 weeks.
No. But
to?
it's the prep and everything. So it would only be maybe a week,
maybe a week,
because you got to do the hotels.
Why do you think I'm going home night one?
I don't think you would. I don't think you would go
But
on
if
it.
I did.
But I'm just saying if you did.
Hypothetically,
yeah.
Roxy.
Because here's this is my prediction if you went on the show. I think you would make it fairly
Pretty far.
I agree.
Depending on how much they made you drink night one.
Yeah.
But
that was always your biggest fear with me. You're like, whatever you do, if you get the show, do not drink too much night one.
I said they're going to fire drinks and try
Yeah,
to
but
turn you into the clown.
Totally.
Don't be the clown, be the other guy. Because I was convinced you were going to be on the show.
I'm not usually the clown drunk though.
No, I know you're not.
Yeah, but if I get too drunk,
Because they'll have you talking shit and all that.
yeah, I'm like, you fucking suck.
Yeah.
You suck.
I know, right? So, but if we get
You're a douchebag.
you get on that show, and then because that you talk about finally you get these fuckers to watch Bachelor. That's the only time they'll ever watch it. They're on it. So I believe that you would make it far. I don't know if you'd win, but I think you'd get pretty far.
And you'd be Bachelor Paradise star.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
You are.
guys.
So,
But then what happens after?
Like, how have you never auditioned for that other stupid show you watched?
can we try
Big
to?
Brother?
Can we
Because
try-
that's 100 days.
Can we try to make this happen?
Very
Because the
long
other
time.
thing that I want to see too is if you do get on, they'll use this clip.
Yes.
Oh, that
They'll
would
use
be
this
crazy.
clip.
Yes.
Can we try to get you on that show?
Yes.
I
Make
don't
them-
know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, wait,
Yeah.
being
Roxy for
serious,
Bachelor.
being serious. What happens afterwards? Like, can I still have a career not in like being that reality TV
Look,
Yes.
dude,
person?
look at Ashley, and Jared. They'll talk to you about it. Like,
Yes.
because you
Yeah,
look
but
at.
I want to be an actress,
got
a
a
writer,
book.
a producer,
Tons
a
of it.
host,
There's
like
been,
all
there's
the
many,
You can
things.
do all that.
There's been many people that have done it, but
You
That'll
just
just
opened
open-
up every other door.
Because you
Back
started-
in the day, it was a joke.
Yeah.
Now,
It's not.
no.
Ashley,
Really?
when her podcast it gets 7 times more listeners than this show.
Totally.
Just from
No way.
Yes, just
Wow.
that is a dedicated
She has
audience.
like 1 million followers.
That's what
Yes,
I'm saying.
they all do.
Her and Jared. Like it's anyway. We'll have that conversation more.
I mean,
when
I'll
he
bring
shows
up when Jared came to the golf
Yeah.
tournament with me.
Anyway, we'll get into that conversation when he shows up.
I took
because
him to a golf
This is going to be less about Bachelor in Paradise and more about getting Roxy on the show.
my God.
Because if we have
Do I
Jared
have
and
to be
Ashley
interested
help,
in actually falling for somebody? Because
Yes.
that's the part that I'm not
No,
interested in.
You're an actress.
Oh,
no,
I could fake
but
it.
and that first of all, don't say that because they'll definitely use that in the fucking clip down the line because that'll be the drama behind it. It's going to say
no.
they're going to say like
She's not
Roxy
even in
said
it for the right reasons.
That's exactly right. This is what happens.
None of
though.
them are.
But no, that's not.
Sometimes
this is
they
what
are.
happens every fucking time. What people don't realize, especially from viewers, and I saw it every season that I was on that fucking show. People come in like that and go, this can't happen. This is a fucking TV show. You can't fall in love that quick. But you don't realize you're a caged zoo animal with nothing to do except try to date someone.
about that
So
guy.
you're sitting in a house with girls.
But
and
what if
listen,
he's
listen.
weird?
But then you go home. But but if you like him, right? If you like him just a little bit, you're sitting
Then
there
I'm
with
in
all
love.
these girls, and you just want to get the fuck out of the house. So in order to do that, you got to get asshole face to take you out for a night. And then
Dan
when he
Asshole Face
does,
is his
you're
name.
out there and you're like, holy shit, we went through this whole thing. Oh my God, I'm zip lining now and I'm falling in love and there's trees and there's a parrot on my shoulder. I must love this guy. This is fantasy. And all this shit comes in and you're in it with this dude who you're in war. Sharing in this fucking weird experience, and people don't realize that. That's why this happens to these people.
What
It's
are
like,
you allowed to do when you're in there?
fuck? No.
Like what? Like can you diary? You can't have your phone, right? Like what can you do?
They take certain things they take away.
For long periods of
Like
time.
when you're
No.
sitting there, like you paint your
Drink,
nails.
food, workout, like all that stuff.
All day.
All day, sit by the pool.
Oh, I
chill
like
out.
that.
Yeah.
You can drink and sip
It's
at the
got,
pool.
And you
like
travel.
a vacation.
And you travel.
It's a
I love to
vacation.
tan.
It's another thing. Here's my fear.
Proxy, you're more and more.
You
you're
are
perfect at
born
this.
for this
You're
television
perfect.
show.
But here's
Jesus.
This is my fear, though. This
It's
is
a
my fear.
sorority that everybody
What
hates.
happened?
No, this is my fear. This is what's going to happen. You're going to get on board to do this. We're gonna get you the audition, and they're going to fucking blow it again. They're going to blow it again,
no.
and they're going to say they're going to get you close, and then they're going to do a makuga, and they're not going to realize that you should be on this show. They're going to blow it. I'm gonna reach
They
out.
blew it.
I'm
There's
going to reach. Not you, them.
I know.
Sometimes I think that the reason I wasn't brought on the show was because I was too aware of my surroundings. Like I was too aware of what was going to
Well,
happen.
you'd have no problem there.
Yeah, you're great.
I have no idea where I
You just
am.
gotta
You get lost
gotta
going
use
to the
your-
audition.
Exactly. You just got to get your GPS.
All right, we're going to drive you to that audition. We'll get you
what
there.
state did you say we're
Let's
in?
put a pin
Yeah.
in this for now, and because we're going to bring it back up to Jared because this needs to happen because this is the only time we'll be able to get them to watch the show is if you go on The Bachelor.
Just here to put a button.
Bachelor.
On, put a button on the
What
whole
is it?
thing,
Pin
right?
on it, yeah.
Pin, whatever. Put a button on this
Pin and
whole
pun.
conversation
Button
before we
pin.
reopen it with Jared.
Yeah.
Is that producer that had me on The Bachelor? That same company did a show called Love at First
I
Kiss
remember
on VH1.
because Mario Lopez hosted it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they had me come in for that show, and I was like, I don't want to do this show. And they were like, we'll pay you $1,000. Like, I'll do the show. So I go in, and the one guy that was my handler and interviewer was a guy in The Bachelor, but it was in between
probably
Bachelor and
know it. Probably
Bachelorette
know who it
seasons,
was,
right? And he was like a swimmer, so we were talking about swimming and all this kind of stuff, right? So he's having me in this interview situation, and what's like a
The
15-minute
ITM.
interview
You know what ITM is? In the moment.
in the moment.
So when you see those little interviews of when they're talking, it's basically I use that in Schmodown, by the way. I use that technique to it. It's like so when you're having the conversation, like, all right, Roxy, Josh is annoying you, right? And this is before we start. So Josh, Roxy, is Josh annoying you right now?
Yes.
No, so you can't answer like that. You gotta say
Yes,
so,
Josh is annoying me right now.
Josh is so annoying right
Josh
now.
is so
Right now,
annoying
yeah.
now because
Josh
and then
is so annoying
Yeah.
right now because.
and then you would go into such oh God, we're getting you on the show. Go ahead.
So I go on this Love at First Kiss show, and you come out, and you've never met this person before, and you got to kiss and then walk away,
Yeah.
right? So he starts interviewing me, and I was
is
like,
this on TV?
It's not on TV. The
Oh,
pilot didn't go,
air.
and so thank God. And he's like, tell me what you thought about the kiss. Tell me what you thought about this. And about 5 minutes in, I was like, dude, I know where you're going on this one, and I have no attraction to this girl at all. He's like, well, dude, we got to shoot 6 more segments. I was like, cool, man. But I'm like, and he just kept trying to get answers out of me. He's like, do you think you could fall in love after the kiss? I was like, not for that one. He's like, dude, come on, man. And I was just fucking with this dude. I was just milking my $1,000 and getting the F out.
Yeah.
It was great.
That was good.
Yeah.
It's probably why you didn't get the Bachelor.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, this was after they'd already denied me Bachelor.
okay.
Whatever.
I'm really
Anyway.
sorry that happened to you. I feel like it would have been a fun experience.
would've been good.
Bachelor?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I
100%.
feel that we need to try to make this
They
happen.
botched it.
I don't know.
You trust me. He's not wrong. The careers that these people have made out of, especially Instagram. You think you're doing well on Instagram now? Just wait.
No, I don't think I'm doing well
Well,
on
you do a
Instagram.
lot
I'm
better.
trying. I'm posting them one a day thing.
You do a lot better. And then you'll forget us.
And then all of a sudden, they're sending you to any kind of
Right.
tropical place
Yeah.
to go to
oh my
to
God!
post.
Can you imagine next year we're talking about Bachelor in Paradise and Roxy's on it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
They're currently
wanna-
looking.
gotta
You
wanna-
see
all
that
the time.
commercial.
They are.
Well, if
Yeah.
it's Derek or Mike, I'll go on.
They're not.
But we
they're
don't
not
know
gonna
who
be
it
the
is.
one.
They're not even
No.
telling us.
Neither
They're
one
not
of
even
us.
telling you who it is
Well, I'm
yet.
just saying that's what I would go on for.
What about Pete? Do you like
The
Pete,
pilot?
Pete the pilot?
I don't know because I didn't watch that season.
Oh.
I only know from Bachelor in Paradise. I like Derek and Mike.
Right.
Pete the pilot should have been on Paradise, but I think that's because they want to make him
Probably
Bachelor.
make a Bachelor. All right, listen. Let's move on.
I don't know.
All right, Bad Boys 3. Trailer came out.
Soundtrack. Let's go.
Whoa!
You
How
lost
are
your
you?
mind. That's like Christmas for you.
How are you?
Okay, so I just did the trailer reaction. That's my phone.
Is your ring tingling, Josh?
What an asshole!
What
Is
an
your
asshole.
ring tingling? Could it
Tingling.
sense underneath the words?
I think they'll enjoy the trailer reaction because I went on.
All right, give me your review. What do you got?
It's the greatest trailer we've seen for an action movie since 2003's Bad Boys 2.
Okay.
I mean, it is. It's perfect for what you wanted from the Bad Boys for Life trailer. There's comedy, there's action, there's Will Smith and Martin Lawrence doing stupid shit. Like they are the greatest comedic duo in the history of action movies. That's what Hobbs and Shaw wanted to be, and they just couldn't pull off the comedy duo because they were both the same comedy.
But Hobbs and Shaw was great.
Hobbs and Shaw was great, but they weren't Bad Boys. They were not that same thing. There's Joe Pantoliano freaking out.
He was great.
The scene with the four new bad boys.
very
There's
end
like,
of saying,
you're out.
Don't
like,
do that ever again.
Vanessa Hudgens and some tall blonde guy that was on Bachelor in Paradise. The Ferrari opening scene is perfect. Okay,
Was he actually on Bachelor in Paradise?
No.
The amount of perfection of what you wanted from this trailer, it was everything that I've wanted. I was worried because you don't know these directors and everything, but what they got and what it looked like a Michael Bay Bad Boys movie. And it's the soundtrack alone on the trailer, because they not only do they have like what you want, they also have the Bad Boys for Life, which is the Sean Puffy Combs one, which I don't know if that came out before 2003 or after. I'm not really sure
I
about
don't think he goes by Sean Puffy Combs anymore.
Today it is.
Did he?
Yeah.
Anyways,
The Didster?
the Didoronimus.
Wasn't that Lion for a while or something?
No, that was Snoop Lion.
Oh, that was Snoop's.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
the Didster.
if I'm like, I wasn't worried about this movie because I knew I would enjoy it regardless. If there's anything that this trailer has done, it's gotten me so much more hyped up, and it's 12 days before my birthday.
Yeah.
Movie is 12 days before they release it because they know that Josh McCouga is the biggest fan of this
That's why
movie.
they moved
Are you going to see it on your birthday?
No, I'm going to see it well before, and
Yeah,
then I will
then
see it again on
yeah.
my birthday. Yes, 100%.
What did you think?
I liked it. It was good. It was.
I liked it. It was good.
I think the music's awesome. I think that it's fun. I'm so excited for Josh's excitement.
Right.
Like, I'm in. I'm not going to say one bad thing about this.
You're in for him.
Yeah, for sure.
I know, because
That's good. In for him, yeah.
He came walking out of the reaction like he just gotten that BB gun for Christmas, you know. And I just like
him on Bachelor.
I said, I'm not going to rain on your parade. He goes,
No.
you didn't like it? I go, and he goes, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you are. You're a total and complete moron.
Look,
I don't say it that often, but
I
right
know.
now you sound stupid.
All I will tell you about it looks fine. I just worry about the Zoolander 2 effect. It's just like it just looks a little.
Yeah, but Zoolander 2, we've talked about this before. Comedy late-term sequels do not work.
Action
But
could
Bad Boys
pull
2
over.
kind of is Zoolander 2. This is the next one.
Well, no. What I mean by that is that it's just a little too
fucking-
too late.
No, I
You
mean,
know what
literally-
it's more like?
Compare Bad Boys 2 to Zoolander 2?
Literally just by the sequel title.
No,
This is
I
the
know.
second one.
I'm just saying too little, too late. It could be, but he's right that action has a better chance to do it. Martin Lawrence looks terrible.
He's big. He's bigger.
He just looks like he hasn't
In a
been
good
doing
way.
stuff in a while, right? And it's not a matter of his body. He just looks rusty.
And wasn't he holding out as well for this?
But the
I don't
only
think he
thing,
looks
the
rusty.
only,
I think he
the
looks-
only reason that I said okay that works
Chrome
is because he looks over
perfection.
because I think I'm going to retire, and he looks
Yeah.
like he's about to retire. So I was like, okay, that works. The chemistry still seems there. Will Smith looks great. The end joke is great. Joey Pants is great. It just looks like it looks exactly like you wanted it to be. But for me, I thought the first Bad Boys was good. Didn't like the second one at all. So
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm just never been a Bad Boys fan. It's like okay, I'll go watch it. And that's it.
I think it's more comparative to like
How
when
have we
Lethal
been
Weapon
friends
4.
for
I don't know, man.
Remember when Lethal Weapon 4
It's like,
came
it's
out?
like you watching a trailer for a musical. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lethal Weapon 4 came out, and it
That's
was
an insult.
years after, right? But it was still pretty good. It was still pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Lethal Weapon 4?
I kind
Yeah,
of
it's
look,
kinda
you
really
know,
good.
I
It doesn't
kind of
look terrible.
see. It doesn't look terrible. It looks fun, right?
Yes. We've been
More
jonesing.
fun.
We've
Yeah.
been jonesing for 16 years for
We?
this.
Well,
the
you know,
collective
the royal
movie-going
we.
audience has been jonesing for Bad Boys for
All right.
Life.
I
Bad
can
Boys
agree
2.
with
Now,
that.
don't
Thank
do
you.
a Chris Clark Bibiani here. What do you think it's going to make opening weekend?
Oh,
Not what you want it to be.
On the trailer reaction, I said this is going to make $450 million opening
Opening
week.
weekend. Well, that's what you want it to make in your head. That's what the little demons are paying for. But what do
It's
you?
January.
What did the second one make?
If I was to guess, 30.
No, I think
35?
it was around 50.
Okay.
But that's 2003. So
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm saying
you
35
might be
or
right.
40.
I'm going to say opening weekend, the Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, the Bad Boys effect, depending on the marketing, I'm going to say around 65.
It's a big number. What do you think?
I think closer to 45.
That's what I'm pushing you. I'm going to say 45. Only because I don't want to be exactly. Now, who's this? Who's calling me? Can't be my wife.
What's
right?
happening right now at your house?
Yeah, a lot of people
Everybody
coming in
trying to
and
get
out
to
of
the
the
door.
Harloff household here.
Manor.
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 Yeah,
That's a good one.
All right, listen. So
I'll
this
listen.
movie makes 44.5.
Okay, sure.
What do you say, Mark Riley?
I was trying to
Remember
look
who your
at
friend
what is
is.
it opening up against? That's what I want to know. What is before? What is after? I'm
Does
trying to
it
find
matter?
out. I'm going to go probably not. I'm going to go 42.
42. All right. So we're all in the you're hopeful.
It could do 50.
This is my other problem. This is another reason why I don't think it hits the 60 and it scares me. It's coming out in January.
Yeah.
That is a January.
Josh's
Sometimes January you get like the Rambos and a couple of movies that pop in there here and there, like horror films that can come in and do some good money. Putting a movie of this
Sony
caliber
hasn't wanted to do this movie since 2003.
and they're burying it in January.
And they're burying it in January because they're pissed that Will Smith did that social media campaign to make it happen.
No, maybe because there's a lack of competition then.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
also.
the Voyage of Dr. Dolittle, which is Robert Downey Jr.,
January also?
is going to be opening the same weekend, at least according to.
So you're going to get the kids that are going to take their parents and
Yeah,
parents are gonna
exactly.
drop
It's
them off and
different
they're
audience.
gonna
It's
say,
counter-
"That's
yeah,
what
it's
we're
counter
doing."
programming.
Somehow I
Total
missed this. Robert Downey Jr. is doing a Dr. Dolittle movie.
Yeah. But the way you started with that was even better.
I mean, listen, if it makes over 60, I will be psyched. But I mean, listen, January, it's right after the new year. There's not much going on. East Coast
I
people
know.
are like, I want to see a Miami action movie.
I will tell you this. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
I'm
Because
rooting
it's
for
cold
you.
out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm rooting for you. And
You don't know. Well, you do.
Yeah.
I was going to say, growing up in a place like Pittsburgh where the entire winter, the only thing to do on a weekend is go bowling,
Right.
go skiing, or at like a tiny little hill, or go to the movies.
We did drugs.
This is your Star Wars.
That's
This
two.
is your Star Wars.
This is.
Yeah,
100%
I get it.
my Star Wars.
I understand. So we need to try to figure out how to get you to the premiere.
Has the same passionate fan base.
You're lucky that it does.
How do I get to the premiere? Do I?
That laugh was really good.
Yeah. Is it in Miami? I mean, I asked for the set visit. Clearly,
They told you to
They
go fuck
said no?
yourself.
no.
Oh.
I don't know anybody at Sony, so I
I
asked.
did. They
I
just got
do.
ignored.
Yeah.
we just got ignored.
But I don't know if they did set visits. I don't know. It was in Atlanta. But if the premiere's in Miami and I don't get to go to the premiere, I'll be really butthurt about it.
If
But-
the premiere is in Miami and they invite you, but they're not sending you there, will you go?
yeah.
All right.
Are you listening,
Yeah, I believe
Sony?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
go to the premiere and then go hang out with
What
my aunt and
happens
uncle
first? You
close
get an
by.
audition for Bachelor, or he goes to the premiere.
Well, the premiere is going to be in January. When
Yeah.
are the Bachelor
Right.
auditions?
Well, it's probably going to start. Probably happening now. Probably have to move pretty fast.
Oh my
because
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I do this?
Yes.
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 We're
You
gonna-
guys looking out for my best
All right, listen.
interest or no?
100%.
Yes, we
and
are.
And we're going to go to break. And when we get back, we'll continue this conversation with Jared, who's been through this shit. But we're also talking about some other stuff because big movie news happening. And Robert Pattinson, he almost lost the role, Batman, because that shit got leaked, yo.
Yo.
When we get back from the break.
Bad boys for life.
Hey guys, it's Perry here to let you know that Movie Talk is moving. We've had a great time in this 3 p.m. Pacific slot, but guess what? We want you to start your day with Collider Movie Talk, so we're moving. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a longer show with some brand new segments, so tune in starting Monday, September 16th, 9 a.m. Pacific. See you there.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, you know, if you've been watching us every week, you know we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh McCouga. We've had Taylor Bisciotti on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Riley here. Let me tell you about the Riley Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Riley Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video on the YouTube as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week, we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Well, hello there. I'm Kat Knapsack, one of the hosts of Collider Jedi Council, and I'd like to invite you to listen to our show, watch our show. It's on every Thursdays on the Collider video channel, and it's also available in podcast form if you'd like to listen to our sweet voices on Collider Jedi Council. Me, Christian Harloff, and a bevy of guests, I say, talk Star Wars. We celebrate Star Wars. We dig into the Star Wars news. We speculate everything about Star Wars, including your questions. So join us on Collider Jedi Council. You're going to have a great time.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'd be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue Brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Hey guys, Riley here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's Jedi Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. A new episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well, every Saturday and Sunday.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Christian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider Jedi Council. We talk about everything Star Wars. It's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel. But if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Apple Podcasts, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out. And then after Episode 9, you got TV shows. So we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real.
Hi, I'm Amy Dallin, one of the hosts of Collider Heroes, and starting right now, you can catch our show Tuesday nights with a new Collider Heroes and a longer Collider Heroes podcast, where Coy and I are gonna talk your ears off. You already know that's coming. So make sure to go to YouTube, subscribe, and find us on the Collider Heroes podcast feed for all of that sweaty goodness.
The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that Horrorville podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. And on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the Witching Hour.
We are back on Collider Live, ladies and gentlemen, and joining us in studio, he's off the market, ladies. It is the one, the only, Too Smooth. Jared Haibon is here. What's up, Jared? How you doing,
I love that nickname. Good. How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Dude, we haven't seen you since the big day. Congratulations.
I know, right?
Is it nuts? It's weird. You know what's funny? I remember being, a mutual friend, Bennett.
Oh, yeah.
So when I was working at the Bachelor. Bennett. Hello, Bennett. What are you doing here? Come on. Just walking by my desk.
Blow some steam, Bennett.
So when I just got married and I had I had the ring out, and he's like, you get used to it. He's like, for the first month, it's you notice on your hand, and then it just disappears. Couldn't be more true.
It gets weirder when you take it off.
Yes.
And you're like, wait, I don't have my plaything.
Why don't you guys all just talk about your wedding rings and stuff?
Well, we're gonna talk.
Does this give us like special powers or something?
Yeah, so we're part of the Green Lantern. But yeah, man. So tell me about it's exciting. Now the funny thing is, you guys had nothing to do. The Bachelor and Bachelorette had nothing to do with your wedding. You guys did it all on your own, right?
Yeah. So last year we got engaged on the show
on Bachelor in Paradise,
and that was really stressful.
Right.
And obviously, if you've seen Bachelor in Paradise this year, Chris and Crystal's wedding, there was a lot of drama involved.
Right. You
sucks.
didn't want that shit to happen. Right?
No.
Right.
And last year,
So there was as much drama actually being there as it looked like there was on TV, because it looked like a massive JPJ fight.
Let's hold that, because I do want to get into that, Rox.
Okay.
For sure. I want to hear about your wedding first. What you were going to say? Yeah, go ahead.
And so we wanted to do once Ashley and I started talking about let's do our own thing, and we talked to her family and my family and kind of figured out let's just go for it and do it the way we want to do it. Because especially when you start, you guys have been married, when you start looking at finances,
Right. Yeah.
it's like, do we want to do this or
Right.
do we want to put a down payment on a house?
Yeah.
And so we were like, it's all our one day. So we started planning. It was in Newport,
Because
Rhode
when
Island.
we went to drinks that one night, you guys were still like on the fence, like, because you had just gotten engaged.
Yeah.
We're like, are we gonna do it on the show or not? So
She's Italian, right?
Yeah.
Hiya, Canetti.
That's what I'm saying.
Sicilian.
That's what I mean.
Apparently
Like,
there's a difference.
There's no fucking way
No
you get
way.
out of that without a big wedding. There's no way.
And
Italian
her
girls want
dad,
that wedding.
her parents really wanted to help, and they wanted the big day. So,
Yeah.
and we wanted a big day too.
Right.
And it was incredible. And I got lucky because when we got engaged, I always wanted to get married in Rhode Island, my home.
Yeah.
And when we got engaged, she said, I'd love to get married in Rhode Island. All I want is a venue where the doors open up and there's an ocean view.
Yeah, you got it.
Rhode Island
All right,
supplies.
so here's a
Yeah, it
question. Here's a
does.
question I want to, and we're going to see if you're going to prove either me or Riley right here.
Okay.
Because Riley watched the wedding on Bachelor in Paradise, and he's like, there's no way all those people from Bachelor and Bachelor would be at the wedding. How many people did you have from Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise at your wedding? Would you say?
Oh, I'd probably say between producers and cast or just
Yes.
cast? Probably about like 30.
I mean, that's a lot, Riley.
Alon officiated.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was
Interesting.
incredible.
Well, I'm sure he's.
I
Pretty,
think I was more of like, I can't believe they had a wedding on the show and it was just that many people there. It didn't seem like they had.
didn't seem like
family.
anyone
Didn't
else.
seem like
Were
they
there
had-
more people? So, kind of jumping into Roxy's question and jumping into this wedding at Bachelor in Paradise, was there a lot of people in that wedding that were not part of the cast and crew? Because it looked like just full on cast and crew.
Yeah, there was. So Chris and Crystal, I think they only got to invite 30.
Oh shit!
30 people
At
That
all.
weren't
That
Bachelor.
that just
general.
like whoever they wanted.
Oh, well, because
And
the
so-
show paid for their whole entire
right,
wedding.
right.
And
Were
so-
you two of them, you and Ashley?
I don't. That's actually a good question because I know that they wanted us to go. Chris and Crystal were invited to our wedding as well.
Yeah.
And we've become really good friends. They're awesome people. So that's actually a good question that I don't know the answer to, whether we counted as that 30. I don't think so. I think any former Bachelor cast member wasn't against their 30. It was like 30 of like, hey, people that you want to invite, friends, family, bring, and then like any Bachelor people that you want. That doesn't count.
And then
My mom would force us to have a second wedding that she helped pay for because there was no way that there was 30 people on 1/4 of my dad's family.
Chris and Crystal had an engagement party probably about 3 weeks before they went down to
And it was
Paradise to get
huge.
married. And it wasn't huge. There were probably 50 people there, but it felt like a wedding.
Yeah.
I remember when we got there, Ashley and I, because there was a lot of people from Bachelor, but it was all friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking, is this a wedding? Are they going to get married here? She was
Because they
wearing white.
knew that the gig was going to be differently once they.
I think they had
see.
an idea that they might not have as
Right.
much control over their wedding as they'd like. So let's do a big engagement party to feel like a wedding.
Because it was part of the show. And so going off Roxy's question, big thanks for those people out there that went down. We've been talking about it, and I don't know, Adam, if you can find the clip in time, but John Paul Jones, right? So John Paul Jones, this guy, hands down, out of my time working there, no offense, my favorite person that's ever walked through the doors, you're second, is John Paul Jones.
Is great.
My friends call me John Paul Jones. So you can call me John Paul Jones.
He is the best.
So the greatest intro. You want to know something funny about John Paul Jones?
Yeah.
We were down at the wedding, and I posted about him night one just
Yeah.
because I loved his intro.
Yeah.
And when he got the final rose, everybody in our house, Lauren, Ashley, were clapping. So I just put it on Instagram and tagged him, and then he messaged like saying thanks and whatever. We're at the wedding, and so they start bringing cast in from Paradise, and John Paul Jones, one of the first ones to walk up, and he comes storming up to me, and he goes, dude, you are fucking awesome. And he's like, you're the only person that posted about me night one. You are Tom Cruise. And I was like, this is the best moment of my life.
I love John Paul Jones. Sorry, so what happened with him? Because I said it kind of seemed like I was a big wrestling fan back in the day, right? So when Hulk Hogan turned heel, it broke my heart. So it looked like he lost his fucking mind at that wedding. What happened? You were there. You saw all of this.
Yeah, it was really sudden. I was talking to Derek, and then John Paul Jones. It was just a group setting,
Yeah.
and John Paul Jones came over and just said, Derek, can I talk to you for a second? Pulled him to the side. And it was just the weirdest thing. It played out very similar to the way it played out on TV,
Okay.
where it was just so sudden, and Derek didn't know what the hell was going
Embarrassing.
on.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing, and I kind of feel bad for. John Paul Jones needs to take responsibility for his actions, but I kind of feel bad. I don't know if he just got lost in the moment, or maybe
He's
like
obsessed with Tasha, and I understand why. She's an attractive woman, but
Yeah.
he's also 24 years
We're all
old.
kind of obsessed with Asia.
Yeah.
she's
That was
beautiful.
creepy.
Yeah.
I'm with
good.
you, dude.
Yeah, let's go.
She's hot.
Yeah.
Maybe next time, not so close to the mic.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
No, it's
Just
her
like Buffalo Bill.
personality too is dope.
Yeah.
So you guys all watch the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
now
will.
it's the first season that I'm watching it.
Yeah. Well, because
Jared,
here's what
I've
happened.
been
Oh,
forced
you're
to
all
watch
fucking hooked.
Bachelor and Bachelorette.
Well, I know you.
Yeah, but
I can, no, I don't watch Bachelor and Bachelorette. I can't do it.
They stopped watching. I'm the only one in my house that's still watching Bachelor and Bachelorette. Lumena likes them, but she like kind of tunes in and out. I'm the only one that's like keeping up with the storyline.
You and I had this conversation. You and I met while you were over at Screen Junkies doing the movie fights, but I knew you because my wife watches all of it. She watches Bachelor, and that season of Bachelor in Paradise that you were on was the one where you were on twice, right? And it was which one of it was. And I was like, okay, this
the
show.
second one you ended up with Ashley, right? On the show.
No.
Oh, that's not what happened.
No, it's a
long story. Yeah,
I have so
I
many
knew that.
years to catch up on.
No, absolutely not. Because when I met him, they were still friends.
We were just still friends.
They were still friends.
Oh, the airport thing, right? Okay, I'm
that was after as well. After Ashley and I were good friends for about a year.
Well, sort of like Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. It was Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. They fight a little bit. Then they kind of
keep going.
But anyway, so the point is that watching, I wasn't getting into. I watched that show and it's like a train wreck. And Bachelor and Bachelorette, I just can't do. From working on the show and everything too, and like I'll tune in here and there when my wife's watching. But I try like the audience, so like our audience. I'd say 70% just like fuck off, stop talking about it.
We
Where
have
the
30%
who weren't, more so than that, because 30% was like, I'll never watch the show. We got them hooked on it because of the train wreck that started with Blake. And like last night and the last 2 nights, to be honest, a little repetitive with the same shit of Angela and
Clay.
It's like,
except for the Blake stuff, which is brand new.
Yeah, right. He just came out. Blake, now here's the thing with Blake. I don't know how close you are with this guy. I texted you the day after I saw that episode, and I said, they're giving him a bad rap. And then I started watching more. I'm like, nah, he's kind of deserving of it. He looks like kind of a douche on the loose. And then he just doesn't seem genuine. Like out of nowhere, he wants to stick around. He's like, oh yeah, you know what? Hey, Christina, give me your rose. What's real, fake? What's going on with this character?
Chopstick, I eat lipstick. She's the best.
Yeah, and then you got.
Oh, you like Christina?
No, I don't.
Yeah, can you please tell Blake to stop doing this?
Oh, the dance. It's his one move that he just does over and over and over again. Poor guy.
It's really bad.
It is bad. He needs to stop dancing.
It's so bad. And he keeps spinning people.
I know.
Stop spinning people.
You know what's really funny? I think Blake is just... he is a good guy. Like if he was here, you'd like him. He's very charismatic, very very nice. But I think he just lacks so much self-awareness because even I was looking at his Instagram last week. I forget why, but watching the show, and he still has a picture up from Stagecoach saying like how much he loved Stagecoach and it was the best weekend of his life. Yeah. And it's like after the first week of Paradise, just delete that post.
Yeah.
Like, why would you just not even think about like I can't even have that on my Instagram right now?
The missus and I can't stand Caitlyn. I think
I can't stand her either. She drives me nuts.
Nuts. Like she's kind of the loose.
No comment. Look. He said no comment.
Is Caitlyn the one with the van guy?
Yes, Dean.
That would be Dean. Dean's one of my really close friends. He was a groomsman in the wedding.
Dean's mustache is the
he's
stuff of
stirring
legend.
things up.
But
he's the best.
Dean's a smooth motherfucker, though.
And Dean, so
he's a smooth motherfucker.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know.
But my favorite line, though, hold that too. My favorite line yesterday is when the poor guy, the guy who looks Connor, he looks like he was DNA from Christian Bale, but he's just kind of like, what's going on? But that whole thing, when Dean walks in and Christina's sitting there and he's like, oh, I'm not worried about it. And then Christina goes, do you know Dean? And he's like, and he goes, no. She's like, oh. Turns back
it was the best moment of the season for me because it was so real. Where she's like, "Do you know Dean?" He's like, "No." And you're like, "Oh, you got something else coming,
screwed,
buddy."
Buddy.
Yeah,
you're screwed.
Why? Because he's just so smooth with women.
If you met him in person, you'd fall in love with him. He is the most charismatic.
He's not my type. I could see why a woman would fall in love with him. Though.
You guys I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
Remember when I met the guy who lives in his car?
Yes,
I can't get past that.
Well, he lives in a van by choice.
Down by the river.
So does this
down by the river. Bill
All right,
Shakespeare.
and that's actually, this is a good transition. So we were talking about something in the first half an hour that I want to get your honest opinion of because we were talking about this. So about 5 years ago, I called Alon, Bennett, all this, and I got Makuga into audition for Bachelor. And he got really far, and he was almost on. And
really?
Yeah.
How long before Amanda was this?
Oh, like 5 years.
Yeah. This
is more than 5 years ago.
This is
7 years ago.
Yeah.
Between 6 or 7 years ago.
It was like 2011, 2012.
Something like that.
I was sort of dating her when I was
That's 8 years ago, 2011.
Yeah. What's that?
That's 8 years ago, 2011. World.
Crazy.
Continue.
Crazy. Yeah. So anyway, he got and what I said was, and I know all the casting people, I said they fucking dropped the ball. Makuga would have crushed on that show.
Yeah, he would have been awesome.
So then,
we're all in agreement there.
And it's changed significantly from you and what you and Ashley have done, and everybody does. Like when I first started there, you had a shelf life on Bachelor. You had a shelf life. You couldn't. After a little bit, you'd probably disappear. No one would. But now, because of social media, you guys have made careers out of it.
Game changing.
It's game changing. So at one point in this conversation, Roxy goes, "Do you think I would be good in the show?" And then me and Makuga go, wait a minute, you'd be fucking brilliant on this
you'd
show.
be great.
So we are making a campaign here, and we need you to help. I'm going to make my phone calls to the people that I know. We've got to get her on the show.
But what do you think, actually?
So my initial response would be, I think it could go either way because you're so strong in your opinions.
They can make her a villain.
You could be villainized. That would be my only nerve.
But Crystal was villainized, and now look at her.
But that's the thing. It all depends on. But sometimes,
the girl
like,
got married on the show.
Here's the thing.
Oh, she was really pretty.
Yeah, a lot of villains.
She's
Goose,
beautiful.
Goose was a villain too.
Goose was a villain.
Yeah, he's the one she married.
Goose, Chris
Oh.
Rendon.
Oh, yeah, they kept calling him Goose.
Was he he was erectile dysfunction doctor, right? Is that Chris?
No, that's
Evan.
That's
Evan.
Evan. He got married.
He
got married too.
He had erectile dysfunction,
Right.
right?
No, he was erectile.
See,
on his wedding night.
See, I think I think you had potential to be villainized on Bachelor, but you would be awesome on Paradise because Paradise is an opportunity where people can showcase more of their personality. And I think you have such a strong personality that I think some people would love or hate you on Bachelor, and then you'd be on Paradise, and you would be like one of the people that would commentate through all the drama.
Oh, yeah.
And people would love you.
We said the same.
So what you're saying is yes, she'd be perfect for the show.
As long as you do Paradise.
but like, so I feel like people go on now to make this their life. Like your life is going on Bachelor,
But
and then Bachelor in Paradise.
Let
and
me
then
tell you why I
talking about
disagree with you,
Bachelor.
though. I'll tell you why I disagree with you as far as the villain on the other side of being on a producer side of it, right? Because if I have Roxy on the show and learn, because the whole point is to learn the personality. You had a producer that worked very heavily with you and that you were close with. That's what we did, and I would know when I come out of that conversation, Jared's a fucking good dude. He's just a normal guy. He's a good dude, and he's probably, she's probably gonna like him. So let's see if we can get him a few more conversations. You got more screen time because of it.
Yeah. When you say that, all I can do is think about all the times that I had moments with producers and them just being like, just go talk to her.
That's right.
Yeah,
they give you
it's
time
so-
because
yeah.
that's what happens. Because they say, do they think she's gonna like? Yeah, we think he will. If you're boring, then it's like, yeah, he's a nice guy, but he's not going to give us anything. Fuck him. Don't give him any time. Let him. If he has a good conversation with her, and she likes him, then that's his time. But that's it. That's why some people don't get time at all. Or if they do, 5 seconds, you're fucking out. Now with her, you'll know. You're right. She'll talk shit, but she's the most real person I've probably ever met in my life, and that will come out inside of that. Because that's what I would say. I would go, look, Roxy's not going to talk. Roxy's going to talk shit. But he's gonna like her because she's gonna be there and have some conversations with him, and she'll keep him on the toes. I don't know who the Bachelor
Doesn't
is.
it depend on who he is? Like
Yes.
if he's one, the thing that would suck is like if
Colton.
he's like from the South. Yeah.
Like
Oh my
Colton.
God, Colton.
If it was
I would
Colton,
be like,
yeah.
I'd just be like,
You'd be out,
I
like,
mean,
yeah,
no,
you'd wanna be
no.
out.
But like if he was
Virgin's tough.
cool dude who
That's what I mean.
didn't mind
That's
that
the
women
gamble.
like have opinions and stuff.
It does depend, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if the Bachelor was Ben Higgins, I think you'd make it far.
Yeah.
Which
but I
one's
think
that?
if, Ben
It was
is
like 4 seasons
Can you bring
ago?
up Ben Higgins?
Great looking guy.
Yeah.
He was on my season of The Bachelorette and then he was the Bachelor next. And great, just an awesome human being. And I think he would keep you, like you and him would hit it off. There we go. Great guys. But like, yeah, someone like Colton, I don't know, that'd be interesting to
But
see.
do you?
But
have,
I don't know. You
do you have to
well,
fake
okay.
it? Like you? If,
Yeah.
if
No, you
I
don't
went
have
on
to
with
fake it.
Colton and I was like, ugh.
No, then you
No.
should show. You
you
should.
say-
No, we're not hitting it off. That's why I could see you in the middle of the thing going, I want to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted to.
That's Ben Higgins.
Yeah, because that's
Oh,
the
I've seen that guy before.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. So who was, by the way,
He's cute.
because now it makes more sense to me. Remember when I always give you the credit for when Chris Harrison gave you props for when you were doing the
hosting,
premiere,
yeah.
and they cut back. Who did they cut back to? Who are the two that I say should never be hosting ever?
I think it might have
It's
been
Blake
In the
and Jason.
Which one's Jason?
Jason's the one dating Caitlyn now.
Okay.
In the
okay,
hot
okay.
tub.
Yeah,
Who's
but
Caitlyn?
Jason was okay.
Caitlyn was my bachelorette.
Yeah, right. Jason was okay. It was Blake. Blake was the dud. Is that
Blake
who,
was the
who I
dud.
thought was the
Yeah.
dud? Okay,
Blake
makes
was
more
the
sense
dud.
now. Makes
Yeah.
more sense now.
Wait,
Yeah.
but I really think that Blake and Christina have a shot. That's her name, right?
I don't know. Christina just makes me so confused.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Christina's a very nice in person. I've met her
Yeah.
many times, and I really enjoy her company. But like the whole Paradise experience for her is very confusing by
Yeah.
me because she went into Paradise to just trap Blake. Like at the
And now
first
she
date,
falls in love with the guy.
and now
Right.
I don't know if you remember the first date where she like asked
Yeah.
him on the date, and it was just like to like,
Fuck
hey,
with him.
Yeah.
exactly, I'm going to expose you, and now she's giving him another shot. It's
Yeah.
I don't know, it's
I think
very
she's a little
confusing.
out of it.
Dean walking away from Kaylin after that like rose ceremony being
On her
like,
birthday.
that was the best.
I got to ask you a question though, because you didn't.
Hold on. Okay. Let me say. I'm going to go why it was the best. Not because of what
Nice
he did.
guy, you heartless fuck.
I'm saying because of like I could see it. You could see it from the camera when she was was like kissing at him, and he was just like looking off the distance, like, this ain't gonna work.
I feel like
that was the best part about it because she couldn't see it. She has no self-awareness of the actual situation, but also Dean's kind of like drunk Josh McCouga in 2010. Like I would lie my way through.
You get that mustache too.
No, he doesn't lie. That's what his downfall is. He's so truthful, and he's like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel, and it's like, don't say that.
So he like legit wanted to come back and date her.
So I saw him. So we did the podcast together. Help My Second Dating.
Yeah.
And so I came back. It was he, and then he was there.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dean, you're back from paradise. And then he's like, yeah, I got back last night, blah, blah, so I'm here. I'm going to record the podcast. And he's like, yeah, but I might go back in.
But he
And I
legit.
was like,
he legit liked her.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, you're
Wait,
going to go back in.
how do you know they don't end up together?
I don't know. I didn't watch.
I'm telling you, this is before.
Yeah, yes.
And so he was, he's like, yeah, I might go back in. I'm talking to producers right now. And I was like, what do you, and he's like, I miss Caitlin. And he was like, we were dating for a while, it went well, but then I didn't know where it was going to go. So I told her, I'm not in a place for a relationship. I'm living in a van. I don't know what exactly I want to do with my life. And then
it's like Eric Striffler.
Yeah, and then he's like, I just really, really miss her. And he's like, I think I'm going to go back in and try to get her to leave with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you should. Why wouldn't you? And then, the next thing I know is
he went back. But do you like Caitlin?
Yeah. I hung out with Caitlin, spent some time with her. We went to Tahoe, like the iHeart people, and spent some time with her. And she's very, very sweet.
Okay.
And I got along with her really well. She's really easy to talk to.
I don't know why.
I agree.
She annoys me.
She's a pageant girl, so she's going to be easy to talk to.
She was in pageants?
Yes, that's why
she
her and
knows
Hannah
she
didn't
knows
get
you
along.
too, right? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, she just
annoys
annoys me.
No, but she,
I like her.
I think they make her annoying on the show. But
Maybe she said that she really didn't
like her edit.
And not only like her edit, but like how she projected herself on the show, at least Bachelor.
It's hard when you go from like being head over heels with somebody, and then the next day being head over heels into somebody. Like that's not a cool look.
All right.
Oh,
It's
with
called
her and
Barney's
Connor and her.
being
wedding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I know she's been
Dean put her in a
flip-flopping.
Dean
But
put her in a
honestly, if
position.
Dean walked down, he looked good yesterday. Come on now, he looked good when he
Got
walked down.
mustache.
He's a
If
character, man.
If
He's
he
definitely
came
a character.
down walking towards me, I'd be like, all right.
And he lives in
I
LA?
get it. Yeah, he lives in LA. So
got
he was.
that hair.
We gotta get Dean. You
How
and
do we
Dean got to
know-
come on the show.
Oh, he'd love to come on.
Does the public know who's currently dating, or when they're on the show, even though you recorded so long ago, the public?
Well, there was People Magazine's the one that reported that Caitlin and Dean were together after the show.
Oh, after the show.
But we can't really talk about it, so I don't
Right.
know exactly what I'm supposed to say. I just know that there are articles, including People Magazine, saying that they were together. They are together.
Well, so the other question I wanted to ask you is because this is just for filming purposes. How long do you really film down there? Because
Like 22 days.
22 days. It's not week to week
Shut
like they say.
the front
that's
door.
what I'm saying. Like,
It's about 20. It's probably
Right.
about like 22 to 25
Remember?
days filming.
Yeah.
Like when you're actually down in Sayulita.
yeah, see, they make it the same thing they did for Bachelor. There's last week, when it wasn't last week, it was like a couple days ago.
Each
but they
week's
made
about
the
like
episode.
Yeah, 2 to 3 days.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's insane.
That makes sense.
And you're supposed to fall in love with somebody?
Well,
People do it.
Yeah, I mean,
happens.
listen, I will say from going through this experience multiple times, it does speed up the process of
You're in a zoo.
you're in a bubble.
Yeah.
You are in a bubble, and there is nothing. There's no phones. There's no TV. There's no distractions. All you're doing this all day with the person that you are that you have chemistry with.
And if you're not, you're sitting around with a bunch of dudes or a bunch of girls waiting for this fucker to take you out so you can then have interaction with somebody of the opposite sex.
Oh yeah, well, Bachelor, Bachelorette, they're just built up so much.
Yes.
It's like, anytime Caitlin walked through the door, everybody's like, oh my God,
Right.
it's her.
Right.
And,
Right.
and so it gets built up in your head. And so when you leave, I think you have this moment of clarity. Not to say that your feelings weren't real, but okay, settle down. This is not the way life works.
See, I just don't know if I
kinda
could do
decompress.
that.
See, that's what everybody says. That I've heard a billion times.
it.
before.
Really?
It's when
You
you're
could
putting.
do
It's a
it.
social experiment when it happens. So what I
Exactly.
need, you got to help me because I'm going to make some calls and we got to try to get her for at least an audition.
Oh yeah, totally.
Just the
I'm totally
audition.
down.
You don't have to do the show. You go for the audition.
Okay.
But you're gonna love the audition.
Yeah.
Why?
It's fun.
Because it's so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
You
Yeah.
sit down in front of a room full of people who are super charismatic. This is their job. This is how they know to talk to you. And the whole thing is about you.
I hate that.
No, you're going to like it.
Literally,
They're going to make it fun.
I've made a career out of asking other people
But
questions.
you'll have conversations. You'll because once you like having conversations.
Yeah, I
and
like to have
that's more
conversations.
that's more what it's going to be about too. It'll be about you, but you won't realize it because it's like the conversation we have like during the one-on-one where we're just talking.
Totally.
It's like that type of thing.
For example, in my audition, they had me pretend to be Batman because they knew I was such. One of the reasons apparently I got on the show is because I'm kind of
You're
a geek.
Batman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I love DC, Marvel,
Yeah, yeah.
all that stuff, blah blah blah. And actually, it was Alon who was talking to me. And Alon is very caught up on his pop culture within this geek realm.
Yeah.
And so he was like, yeah, just go. He's like, go walk over there and go walk up to that producer and pretend you're Batman and pretend it's night 1 on Bachelorette and then pretend that producer's the Bachelorette and walk up as however you think Batman would walk up and then say whatever you think Batman would say to the Bachelorette. In my first audition, and it was like, okay, I guess I'll just go to the corner. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Right. That's great.
And so, yeah, of course, I got to walk up as if I'm Batman.
But you did that because you were like, I want to fall in love?
No, because it was fun. It's a social experiment. The idea, I always said, the people that go on this show who say, I'm only here to find love, is a psycho.
Yeah.
It's
Like
a
Luke
TV
P.
show. You have to go in for the experience and just be like, whatever happens,
And if it
happens.
happens, it happens.
Like
Right.
Luke P.
How
he was a
long-
psychopath.
Oh,
How
Luke P
long
was
do you
a lunatic.
actually have to take off of work?
I say psycho jokingly because I don't like calling Luke
Dude,
a psychopath.
he
I do-
didn't blink once that entire show. He didn't blink.
I could see
didn't
him.
notice
I
that.
could see him chew a leg off an animal on the
Yes,
road. I could see that. That guy was he looked.
I mean, who wouldn't do that? You know, if you're hungry.
They betrayed him. They
Depends on
betrayed
the
him
animal.
as a cuckoo pants.
And
Oh
he's
yeah,
cuckoo.
I'm really glad he didn't do Paradise though, because I think that he
The
just
worst.
yeah.
They
But
definitely
he's
offered
also
it to
like
him.
super religious.
I
So
don't
the
know.
You
Paradise
don't think
thing
they
doesn't
offered
work.
it to him?
I don't know.
Really?
Well,
I
because
don't
they
think
had
he
such a
would've
bad
turned
thing
it
with
down.
Chad, right? Like because of the Chad situation. Because Luke
You
P
know
was a total maniac on
Yeah.
the show. And they're like trying to get rid of him. I mean, I listen. You know more than me, but like,
Well, I don't know Luke. I've never met him.
But he's like his scene on the show trying to get rid of Luke P. Hannah Brown trying to get rid of Luke P. was awkward and some of the best moments in the history of the show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
no, it was really bad.
100%.
Especially even like the whole Luke versus Luke drama. If you remember,
Yeah.
he told the other Luke that he was going to go apologize and tell the truth, and
he
then
lied.
he
I know.
led
Flipped.
to Hannah and was like,
Because
"Nah, I doubled down on it."
Yes.
Wait,
It's
I have,
crazy.
I have a question for you about a season that I watched.
No, please
This
go.
one for Demi. How do you feel about the fact that she was allowed to stay on the show with somebody who was not a part of the show?
Well, I think first of all, Demi and Christian, they're very real. They're very much in love. You can see that. It's evident. I think a lot of people have issues with
Boredom.
how it was contrived. Like,
Yeah.
like they found Christian a day after she talked about her. Like Harrison, was able to find this woman and bring her into paradise.
You don't think that's what happened?
No.
I mean, do you think it's what
I
happened?
have no idea. This is my
They
first
had-
time
they
with
had
this
it-
experiment.
They had it lined
You've
up
been
since day
watching
one.
Big Brother for like 140
But they don't-
years.
That's the kind of
They
shitty
don't do
shit, and
this.
that's what I said beforehand too. Is
Competition show.
that we, like you said,
it
though,
is.
it's a television show, right? But
Yeah.
and they're putting together moments, but it's
Wait, what are you saying happened?
what I'm telling you is what I think that what I believe happened is that they probably said, okay, look, Demi, we know she's in love with this girl. Let's have her on the back burner. If she falls in love with someone else while it's going on, great. We'll see what happens, and then we got a little bit more of drama to go there
Got
because
it.
we'll bring her on the show. But what happened was that Demi really started to say, "Fuck, I miss this girl," and then she had the conversation like, "All right, well, bring her in now." And they just knew they were bringing her in. It was the ace in the hole, and they knew also we're in a time that it's a very politically correct thing. It's a very thing, and it's also a thing that they wanted to make sure that they are, showing that they're, look, we are accepting. This is what they wanted to make a statement. They made two statements. They made that statement, and they made the statement of the second that what's his face
Got in a fight.
Yeah, who?
Christian.
Yeah.
Oh, Jordan
Jordan
and,
threw Christian off the
Christian.
thing. This isn't Rock of Love. This isn't Bachelor
No,
Pad.
yeah, you
this
can't
is
keep those guys
you
around.
can't. You're out. And Jordan knew it too. He's second. I love that motherfucker. Is he
Jordan?
cool at least because he fucking cracks me up.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's very sweet, very endearing.
Yeah.
He's great. Jordan's great.
Wait, Aaron Rodgers' brother Jordan?
No.
What do you think about the Clay situation and Angela?
No, I think Clay just needs to.
Man,
God,
It's
Clay is
so
very
boring.
sweet. He's a very nice man.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Did he
but
play for
my
the Pats?
God,
Where did he-
Nah, he played for the Lions. He played for.
Just make it happen.
Oh, just like
Just
please.
so-
Do you think he's
pull
in
the
love
trigger.
with Angela?
Yes,
Yes. I
he's
think
the one
so,
who
too.
like
Clearly.
last night he went up to Angela and said, "Hey, can we talk?" Pulled her aside and was like, "Hey, you're not over me." And it was just so
And
awkward.
she was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And he was, that was rude.
It's always the people that say they don't care
Yeah.
who actually care.
This is
more
another
than
reason
anything.
why I want her involved in
Yes.
this community because
Yes.
I want to see her on the beach having these conversations.
Yes.
Yeah,
I want to
it'd be
see
great.
her. She'd be the fucking mayor of. She would be.
Yep.
You
Oh,
would
yeah.
be the mayor. Anyway, all right. Look. So you're also not only are you here. Thank you for going into all that too. I want to.
Yeah, I apologize to the audience.
Can I-
No, I'm
listen,
so in now.
Can I just tell a quick story before?
This
while we're still on
for
the,
us.
While we're still on
Yeah.
the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Bachelor. Okay, so Jared and I played in a charity golf tournament. This is what 2 or 3 months ago.
That was
right?
so much
It was a
fun.
blast.
It
Right?
was
It was a
What
blast.
was the charity golf tournament?
For Battle Buddy Foundation,
Oh,
which
cool.
is the charity I've been working with. And so we get there and like the three like women founders were like, so the Jared that you're bringing here, it's the Jared from The Bachelor, right? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, it's him! It's him! Like they were so excited. Then we're like, we played around the golf, and then afterwards, like the entire party just like glommed to Jared. All the women like were just, they came to Jared, and all their husbands were like, who's this fucking guy?
Yeah.
Like, this is the Bachelor.
That's what usually
happens all the
happens.
time. Right.
The guys are like, oh, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Where's Ashley, by the way?
She had to record the podcast. Famous.
Yeah, we got to get her. We got to get her on for
I
sure
know.
too.
Yeah, I need her advice too.
All right, listen. So we are going to
yeah.
also the beauty of
She's a good example of somebody who's kind of villainized on The Bachelor and then went on Paradise and was like, everybody loved her.
Great example.
Yeah.
Great example.
I'm not much of a crier though, and I feel like that she won people over.
As long as you
with that.
showcase your personality, people are going to love you.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter if you're a crier,
you'll cry.
angry, happy.
What they're looking for, Rox, is just personality, and you are not lacking that at all.
Yeah.
And and because of who you are, and because you're no nonsense, it's like I think he's right. There's two ways it's going to come out. It's either going to come out like, fuck that, she's honest. It's like Demi. Right?
Demi
was
Jordan.
She was a villain.
Yeah.
And there's so many
Demi
people.
was a villain.
Yeah, she's like the most beloved character of all time now.
She was total
It's
villain.
because you also have to remember too.
But she was a lovable villain though.
Yeah.
Sort of.
She was
the best part of her season, because you didn't even watch that season.
I watched her. What was going on with her.
But the best part is when she called her mom who just gotten out of prison, and Colton's face like,
Right.
Oh, well, she was a villain because she was on Colton's season, and he was
Right.
So what do you guys think about this season, Paradise?
The season Paradise so far, the last 2 episodes have been pretty dull. But
it's ups
my
and
favorite,
downs,
my
for
favorite, I think has been pretty great so far. My JPJ steals the show for me, and the fact Tayshia I think is the hottest girl to ever walk the stage of Bachelor.
Really?
Yeah. So
She is very attractive.
So I think the fact that my favorite Bachelor guy of all time is now with her, it's a win for me.
There's no way they last.
No, probably not.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
I think that it's an amazing season. It's the only one I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's not. I don't find it as funny as years past.
The first 2 were pretty great.
Yeah.
This year.
Oh yeah.
It does need more comedy.
Yeah.
I'm with
But
you.
it's so dramatic.
They lost all
the
their
Clay
their
train.
comedy characters.
Yes.
Because Jordan was one of the funniest.
Yeah.
And kicking the shit.
I know.
He slammed that fucker too.
I know he did.
He
Bad.
really did. He tossed him off
Like
a
that
fucking
could have
deck.
because it was right on. There was 2 steps
I
right
know.
there. So if Christian hit his head or something, that was
Yeah, but
bad.
Christian was such a douche nozzle.
Christian hit him with an elbow though. It's
It
like,
was
you
yeah.
hit
They
with
were
an elbow.
wrestling back and
it's
forth.
like-
It was both.
I
of
like
them.
that he threw him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he should have
maybe
gotten
if
kicked
It
out.
was a
like-
man moment,
Yeah.
you know, for Jordan, someone like who's kind of
was a bromance.
seemed
Yeah,
as
it was a bromance.
little bit physically weaker. It was like a man moment.
Oh
for
yeah,
him.
he UFC slammed his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the best was when
Hard
he's trying.
Knocks Paradise.
I hate when dudes do that in general. It's like you're not getting past the 50 people in front of you. Stop running.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate
Why
that.
are you running? Stop running. He's
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, like he's gonna
look
get
at-
to him.
It's like, so what are you gonna do? And then Jordan's just sitting there talking. It's like, stop running.
I know.
Why are you running? You're wasting breath. It's like, what are you trying to show that you're tough? That you're gonna run to him? Is it stop? You're not gonna
Through
do anything.
security and everything too.
Stop running.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, all right. You're also a movie fan. We talked here about that's how we met and became buddies. You're a hardcore movie fan. And you guys off the break. This guy, it's Christmas time for him because Bad Boys 3 came out.
Oh,
the
you're
trailer.
the first person I thought about.
Yeah.
I looked at my phone before I got in the car this morning and saw new trailer, Bad Boys for Life. I was like, Josh McCouga.
Yeah.
He's loving his life right
Did you
now.
like the
God.
trailer?
Yeah, I loved it. Oh,
You
it's
did?
great.
Okay.
It looks like a Michael Bay film. That
It
opening
does!
shot.
There?
And,
Yes!
And you know what? I love how the opening shot, it just
Sorry. I
really
didn't mean to
took
hit you
its
that hard.
time.
I meant to be like,
You just
boom,
punched
and I
Roxy.
just
Oh,
punched
God.
you. I'm so sorry. I meant to be like, yeah, and I actually hit
I
her.
just want everybody to know I'll be okay.
Yeah, it's gonna
Somehow.
bruise up a little bit, but
Sorry.
you'll be just fine.
Oh man.
Wait, really? Just like
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Thank
I
God
did not-
HR is off today.
I was traumatized in 5th grade. I punched a girl in the boob on
Look at
accident
you
one
guys.
time, and I thought I was gonna get in the biggest
Oh,
trouble.
man.
I tried to do
what do you
exactly
mean you punched her in the boob?
because I went to go like that, just exactly like Josh did, but she turned,
Oh,
not
no.
knowing I was doing it, and right in the
Well, I
boob, and she was like,
didn't move.
"Ah, "You just punched me in the boob," and I was like, "I'm gonna be in so much trouble."
Oh man! All right, so it looks like a Michael Bay movie. You're excited about it.
Oh, I love it. I just even the opening shot, how they took their time and they
Yes.
show Will Smith getting out and the music soaring up and the blue car and it looks suave in Miami, and then all of a sudden Martin Lawrence just hits the fire hydrant,
That
and
part
it's
was
like,
pretty funny. Good time.
yes,
Yeah.
you're nailing the tone.
I
right
will
now.
say that the tone was there, and I think that what I said when I was talking about it, I never was the biggest Bad Boys fan. I know.
Dude, I know you love the second one. The
first movie's good. I don't like the second one.
Okay.
The first movie's really good. But what I'm saying is, from
I know.
hardcore fans of the movies, I think it looks very consistent, and I think it looks like a capable action movie.
It's going to get 33% on Rotten Tomatoes,
I don't
and I'm
care.
going to love every second of
Fair.
it.
I haven't even seen the movie yet, and it will get 5 out of 5. I don't have a Rotten Tomatoes thingy, but I'm going to go to Rotten Tomatoes office and be like,
All right.
you need my thing.
So I think I know the answer for you, but I'm going to give you this. I'm going to pose this question to you and to you. You can only watch one. Can't watch the other one. Goes away forever. Bad Boys 3 or the new Rambo?
Bad Boys 3.
Yeah,
That's not even a question for me.
Obviously, Rambo.
Rambo for me too.
Riley?
I
don't.
Yeah, that's a Rambo.
And Adam Smith?
Rambo.
Rambo wins. Rambo wins.
I will run through this wall.
I'm sorry. Well, look, you have a buddy.
Yes,
Yeah, it's you and I.
Yeah, you
Come
got a
all
buddy.
day, baby.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just like I love the. I want the return of Will Smith too, because I rewatched Bad Boys not too long ago, and just the charismatic.
I think he's doing all right. The
action.
Genie movie made $1 billion out of Aladdin movie.
Yeah, but I love him as the genie. I want to see Will Smith with guns in each hand, jumping through a window, flying through smoke, explosions, and then he slides through and the camera zooms up. And he just says
He looks
that
good, man. He's what,
cliche line.
50 years
Just
old.
awesome.
And like, give me like all the cliche lines, like even that part where who's the chief? What's his name?
Joe Pants.
Joe, and he's like, "You're telling me you didn't shoot anybody?" He's like, "Cap, you know I shot some people."
Right.
Give me all those
Yeah,
lines.
that
even
stuff
in
looked
that-
good. That stuff looked good.
It looked, and when they're walking around saying you didn't shoot, I shot these people. It looks again, like you said, like a Michael Bay movie, but it looks like a Bad Boys movie. That's what you want,
Right.
because the scene in Bad Boys 2, so not the main car chase where they're like driving along. It's the other one where they're throwing the bodies out of the back of the long hearse,
Yeah.
right? And there's bodies everywhere, and there's cops everywhere, and Joey Pants comes up, Captain, he's like, you had one rule, and there's bodies everywhere. I mean, that scene, it looks like a Bad Boys scene. It's that good.
Do you know how many times I rewatched the ending scene to the first Bad Boys?
In the
car chase?
airplane?
Well, no, when they're chasing the guy before, and he's like, "This
yes.
fucking car's faster, Marcus. This
Yeah.
car's faster." Like, it's just like that one scene showcases Will Smith's charismatic acting. And because it's just, I could watch a close up of Will Smith just talking for 20 minutes straight, and I would never.
It was
be bored.
I Am Legend.
Well,
I
we
Am
know
Legend.
out of that, so
Yeah.
we know
Doesn't work with
at
many
least
other
2 people
actors.
that are going to see it for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sitting
I'm
right
gonna go see it
I'm
3
gonna
times.
see it.
Yeah, I am too. Okay, let's
wait.
also
It's
move on.
12
Riley,
days before my
Riley,
birthday.
lots of news stories
Great
here,
time.
and the
Great
big
time to be
one
alive.
here is that the Batman, Robert Pattinson, revealed that he lobbied for the role. What happened? What happened?
He was lobbying for the role originally. When he heard about it, he had hit up Matt Reeves asking to audition, and he finally got put on the radar. But it was when the news leaked. He was on his way to, I believe, Cannes.
Okay.
To
the news
premiere
leaked
The
that
Lighthouse.
he had gotten the gig.
He hadn't auditioned yet.
Oh shit!
But he was in the running.
When what news leaked?
That he was auditioning for the role.
Yeah. So when he was going to Cannes and the news broke that he was one of the front runners, he thought that was the end of it, and he was pissed off. He was freaking out.
Yeah.
He was looking on Google, and the funny story was he was sitting next to Christopher McQuarrie on the plane, and McQuarrie looks over and goes, "I've been through it. Don't worry about it. I'd do the same thing." So he was really worried, but ultimately, after the Lighthouse premiere at Cannes, he flew back. He auditioned in the bat suit, and then on his first day of Tenet with Chris Nolan, he got the news that he got the Batman. But for a while there, he was really, really worried that it wasn't going to happen.
Poetic.
What's wrong?
Yeah,
Being
no,
on
yeah.
set with Christopher Nolan while you get a Batman
McQuarrie
role.
said I would do the same thing as who?
Sorry? Say again?
McQuarrie said I would do the same thing as who?
Look at Google to find out what people are saying.
Oh. Yeah.
See if the news is going
So
far and wide.
he hadn't even auditioned when it was leaked that he was the front runner?
Right, correct. He hadn't done
Interesting.
the screen test in the bat suit.
I
He
wonder
probably
do
had
we-
some meetings.
Who
and
broke
whatnot.
that? Who leaked that? Do you remember who the first one was to do it, Riley?
It was Justin Kroll over at Variety.
Oh wow, so he's not. Pattinson's probably not a fan of Justin Kroll.
I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, or Variety.
It's not
in general.
cool when you fuck up somebody's job opportunity. Because if then, first of all, if it's your job
I was
to,
hoping it was Beckham Ford, but
if it's your job to get, you'll get it. So I'm glad that he did regardless. But if somehow these leaks have made it so that Robert Pattinson or Battinson, whatever we're calling
Didn't
him
get
now,
the gig.
didn't get it,
Yeah.
that's not cool.
Why would this have prevented him from getting the role?
Well, what he's worried
Because-
about is the fact that maybe they thought Matt Reeves thought he leaked it. That they thought his camp leaked it, and the fact that it's out there already. And now,
Also, public reception. If it's leaked that he might be it, and then there's backlash times a million
Right.
that he would suck,
Right.
and then Matt Reeves looks at that and is like, "Ooh, maybe I shouldn't go
Right.
with this."
I think as we've learned from past castings, I feel like a lot of casting companies don't listen to reaction. Like, look at Ben.
And a
I
lot of
remember Ben
them do.
Affleck telling the story about how he sat down with Warner Brothers like 2 days days before they were announced and be like, hey, listen, just get ready. Nobody's going to like this.
Ben Affleck is in a much better position with
And
Warner
Pattinson.
Brothers than Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, no. So and see, that's the thing though, is because, and even if that's true, which I agree with Roxy, a lot of times people do listen and go, oh, maybe that's not the right choice. But even if it's 100% true to where they said, don't worry about it, we're just going to do what we want to do. In us, performers, actors, insecure people.
Mm-hmm.
And,
of course.
And so the second that comes out, and that if you asked him, he probably wouldn't say it a lot. I remember he would. If money-wise and career-wise, yeah, Twilight did a good thing for him. But this guy's a serious actor, and he's fucking good. It is probably a thing for him that he just wishes would go away. And he knows that it haunts him. And now this is the role. If he nails this role, and he can turn a lot of these people out here, even today watching, who don't think he's going to be a good Batman. And what if he turns out to be the best Batman that we've ever had? Now, right now I say that and someone goes, no fucking way. But what if that same guy that says no fucking way loves him? But he doesn't. Pattinson in his head goes, I'm not going to be able to turn that guy because they're not going to give me the shot.
Then
he's too fucking pissed off.
I'm not trying to be a jerk. Then he's probably too mentally weak to play Batman. Like, here's the thing.
His entire career, he's been panned by men for being a sparkly vampire, right?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Like, he already is in that wheelhouse. Go and crush the Batman.
And he did.
Yeah. And he
did crush it. And that's he was just worried about it. I sympathize for the guy. I really do, because I think that for the stuff that he went through, plus went through a very public breakup / girlfriend was and co-star cheating on him with a fucking director in the middle. It's all over the place.
Wait, what? How did I not know?
Oh, dude, it was huge.
Kristen Stewart was banging the director.
Rob, from the Snow
White and the Huntsman.
Yeah, there's pictures of him and everything too, and it was just it was a brutal thing that the guy went through.
That sucks.
Yeah, he went through a lot of shit, man. So publicly, his life. He's a private guy. He wants to do. He just wants to work and he wants to do his thing, and then that comes out. I definitely sympathize with him for sure.
And it wasn't the fact that. First of all, you're an actor, whatever. You get the Twilight series. You effing take it, right? Like at that point in your life, he was just Cedric.
Absolutely,
he was just Cedric Diggory at that point, right? He was
and
just
great
Larry
in
Potter.
that role,
and he was fantastic in that role. So you're blaming his acting for bad movies? No,
yeah, Jared.
He was like,
sorry, I'm not blaming anybody.
No.
Well, what I'm saying is, the whole thing is he's going to get criticized whether the leak came out or when it was announced to be Batman. Because if it was, for example, if the casting department listened to the critics and said, oh, well, now they're saying that he shouldn't be Batman. Don't listen to Twitter,
yes.
On who you're choosing. I think we've learned this lesson already between Ben Affleck, Heath Ledger.
Right.
I mean, all the people that we
Michael
thought.
Keaton.
Yeah,
it was
Twitter
Twitter
would have looked like with Michael Keaton.
I'm not saying
there was backlash even without Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna be over here figuring it out.
It wasn't also just announced that he might be the Batman. It was announced that he or Nicholas Hoult might be the Batman. And if the entire world had rallied around Nicholas Hoult,
Hoult's gonna get it.
That might.
Where the F are the American actors up for this role?
Yeah, they're not trained well. I'm kidding. All right.
No, I
don't
agree
like
with
the
you
shirt,
to
by
a
the way. Go
sense.
ahead.
I would just hope that the casting department in these big movie productions would have the fortitude and the confidence to say, no, we know how to do our job.
I agree.
And then
they did.
Exactly.
Right.
And good job
And
to
they
them.
did. So anyway, so he is Batman. It is going to happen, and Matt Reeves is going to take this new Batman of Robert Pattinson. So there you go. The other thing that happened while we were away in New York is the new Terminator Dark Fate trailer dropped. It's going to be rated R. It's what. So let's mix both these stories together here, Riley. So James Cameron says that both Dark Fate, it's going to start a new trilogy. It is going to be R rated. And overall trailer thoughts. What do you got?
I love the trailer, and they are doing the trilogy, and James Cameron actually has an uncredited credit on the script. He actually went in and wrote some of the script, which is nice. But this whole Terminator talk that it's setting up another trilogy, let's wait.
Let's wait to see what happens.
But the trailer looks great.
But it's rated R, he said.
What's that?
But it's rated R?
It is rated R, yeah.
Okay.
They were shooting different scenes to make it PG-13.
Yeah.
And then halfway through, what they were saying was, let's do this. Let's do
Good
this
for them.
full on and go for it.
That's
And
awesome.
There we are. We have an R-rated
What's an
movie.
uncredited credit?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He ghost wrote it, I guess you could say.
So you're not really. So
You ever see on IMDb where it says
cared.
parentheses uncredited?
He cared about the movie.
Yeah, he cared.
That's an uncredited credit.
he helped out.
Yes, I think that the other couple Terminators, he may have just been like asked, "Hey, what do you think?"
Care.
It's a real thing. So like, if you did not do enough by industry standard to technically get credited on something, because there's a certain amount of whatever it is that you have to be put in.
Yeah.
There's arguments all the time over like something like a Bohemian Rhapsody, who gets credited as the director.
Justice League,
and
I
who
remember
is
that.
uncredited.
Right.
Exactly. So it literally will say uncredited.
What did you think of the trailer?
I'm nervous.
I'm with you.
I'm super nervous.
I didn't love the trailer.
So I'm the only one on here that it's like, this is going to be badass?
Didn't James Cameron say about either Salvation or
he did
and
Genesis.
he was like, oh,
He's
Genesis.
He
He's
said
like,
that about
this
every
is
single
it.
one.
So return
this
to
is
form.
different because he's a little bit more. I like Tim Miller a lot. I like what he did with Deadpool, and I think he's been working more closely with James Cameron than James Cameron's ever been involved. But I'm just not on board with I think it's overly produced. The trailer.
CGI.
I think the CGI is overly produced. They said they're going back to what the first Terminator was. Doesn't look anything like the first Terminator.
Well, that's always been my issue is that, like, okay, so the first Terminator, I mean, one of the most perfect movies ever made, right? As far as time travel, all that kind of stuff goes.
And Terminator 2, the perfect movie.
Terminator 2,
like the
just
first
like
one
Bad
that was.
Boys 2, right? Like perfect, okay? So,
Yeah,
and
just put
since
those
then,
together.
they just keep
Same
going like
company.
bigger and bigger instead of sticking
Go
with
back.
that. Yes, instead of sticking with that
Yeah.
same shit of like, it doesn't have to be overly CGI'd. It doesn't have
I
to
know,
be.
but they're taking it into like a summer movie, this big thing, and the cast isn't even that big to where you have to spend all this money on the cast. But it's like, I don't know, it seems campy. It seems a little bit cheesy. It seems a bit like, you know, they're giving us stuff that I don't know. It's, even Sarah Connor looks a little off.
Yeah, I think
She-
you reposted
Linda
it actually. It was a
Hamilton is-
video for the first trailer that was redone with Terminator
Music. Yeah.
and it was so much better.
They did have the music in this for like the beginning of it,
And the
then,
end.
and then that's
It was like a remix, like,
Yeah,
dun-dun,
maybe they heard
dun-dun.
that, but I don't know if they're going to put it in the actual movie. They may or may not. I don't know.
Question
I'm
to-
not on board.
Question to the table: how many cigarettes a day does Linda Hamilton smoke? Because she sounds like Madge at a Pittsburgh hair salon in like 1994.
Yeah, but I feel bad because everybody asks that about me, and my answer is none. Some of us just have raspy voices. Okay.
Your voice is naturally raspy. Hers is cigarette raspy. You know there's a difference. There is a difference.
Well, we're going to see.
I love it. I love the raspiness.
Yeah,
I like
I
raspy
love Linda
Sarah
Hamilton,
Connor.
man. I can't. I want to
she
see her
looks.
kick
I mean,
some
she's
ass.
gonna crush. I'm
Yeah.
just asking how many cigarettes she's smoking, so I can
pack.
get to that voice.
I just don't know, and I always get nervous when they go to sci-fi. Like I know the movie in general is sci-fi, but then it's like what they did. What worked with Robert Patrick when they turned him into T-1000, right? That worked for the new technology, and it blended into the T-800, and that was cool. And then every movie since they have to re-up the new technology, and now it's not even a Terminator; it's a cyborg. That the girl, she's a cyborg. She is human, but she's not. She's
Which is a
enhanced.
repetitive storyline.
Right.
Because the other girl, remember?
No,
like
it's,
No,
what's
that was
his
Terminator
face?
3. You're thinking of a different.
Was
Rise of the Machines?
Yeah.
Salvation.
Yeah,
where
oh, right.
He's
Like,
like,
right,
I'm
Sam
human.
Worthington,
and
right.
then he was he was actually a machine.
Yeah.
It seems very similar.
They're pulling
and then
things from it.
They canceled D-Day. I don't know. There's a lot
Yeah.
of repetitive storylines because they're only following up after the second Terminator.
Right.
Am I the only one that actually enjoyed the third Terminator?
I
Rise of
liked
the
Rise of the
Machines?
I
Machines.
don't like the movie,
I
but
barely
I
remember.
don't like the movie, but I like the ending. I think the ending when you finally see Judgment Day
And
was
it
cool.
happens.
But
It was cool.
I did not like. I think there was another Christina Loken as the Terminator. She was trying to just do what Robert Patrick did.
Yeah.
With the face, and it's like every Terminator's like that. And so they were trying to do it. Arnold was fucking terrifying in 1984.
Yes.
He was so terrifying. So Robert Patrick was too, but Arnold was terrifying because it was a horror film. That movie was a horror film, and that's what they have not gone back to. And I wish we could have seen that.
Well, I think they're trying to go back to T2, which is far more of an action movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Robert Patrick and Schwarzenegger. I put them in top 10 best villains all time.
It's close to it, man. Like, so what are you skinning a cat in there, buddy?
Yeah.
Fuck you, asshole.
Yeah.
Best. Anyway, that movie, it's coming out. I'm still curious for it. Of
course, it's a Terminator movie.
I'm crossing my fingers
What's
for
the
it.
date of release? November?
Riley, do we know when that's coming out?
Let me find it real quick.
Yeah, I think it's probably.
It's got to be soon.
I'm gonna guess it's October. That's my guess.
Yeah.
My guess is October. You think November? That probably makes
It's November. I
All
just
right.
don't know the date.
Yeah, I would say let's say November 22nd.
Well, it doesn't want to compete with Star Wars, so
That's
good
December,
job
right.
going to
I mean,
November.
and then Star Wars obviously doesn't want to compete with Bad Boys 2 because that's January
Obviously,
17th.
yeah, Bad Boys 3, but
Oh, Bad Boys 3. Sorry.
know Bad Boys 3.
Well,
I gotcha.
You know, it's
Yeah.
just a
I see what you're
continuation.
doing.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
Genius.
Star Wars is going to take that January date, but then Bad Boys dropped. and
That's
they
right.
were
Yeah,
all
let's get the
moving
fuck
around.
out of here.
November
Right.
1st, everyone.
November 1st. Okay, so I was close.
All Saints Day.
With the 22nd? Or with the October?
October. Anniversary.
October.
You were dead on.
Yes. Okay. What else? So, what's this about? Mandalorian image reveals a pair of. Whatever. Who cares?
They look like the dinosaurs
Good
from Land of the
talk.
Lost.
Good
That's fine. James
talk.
Gunn. Nothing else. So we got Peter Capaldi, Pete Davidson, and talks for small role in Suicide Squad. All right, nothing else going on. Unless
Pete
there's anything.
Davidson, I'm surprised he's getting talks for anything right now. It's like
Because of that?
Oh, God.
He's hooking up with the girl from Good Boys.
Who's this?
He's dating
No,
Pete
so
Davidson.
I know what you're about to say, and tell me if I'm wrong. So this is the way that I feel culture's been going in
and Once
general.
Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes,
She's
correct.
So Pete Davidson the other day, because we were talking about Sebastian Maniscalco had gotten kind of roasted for certain things that he said when he was hosting. It's very different. Pete Davidson then come out. He when he was talking to the crowd, he said retard, right? And
no, he said you guys are a bunch of.
He said that, and it's like this at this point, and by the way, and Josh said this, and it's just something I should address anyway. Josh said he called Roxy or something the other day, or you called somebody the R word.
It wasn't actually me, but thank you.
No, I think it was just like a bunch of
You said it, right? And so there was a woman who reached out to me on Instagram, and her son is special needs.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, to them, that word is very offensive, and I understand it is.
Mm-hmm.
And when I wrote back and I said, we talked about it during the break.
Yeah.
We just kind of slipped out and things. You weren't saying it towards people with special needs by any even close to the imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an offensive word to that
a lot
woman
of people,
and her
I
family.
felt bad as soon as it came out of my mouth.
I know,
but like in 5th grade, you use that word every other freaking word.
I know,
Dude,
and it's when you're directing it towards people with special needs.
Yeah.
You're an atrocious.
Yeah,
horrible
you're an atrocious
human
human being.
You shouldn't use the word in general, but but where you were using it, it wasn't malicious. I think the same thing what Pete Davidson was doing, where he's calling the crowd. It's you don't use the word, you don't do it.
Yeah.
So he was getting roasted because and he's more of a public figure, obviously. So he's getting roasted on social media.
Josh McCook is way more famous than Pete Davidson.
But that's like for like a couple.
Next host of
It's not
Jeopardy
going to
here.
affect his work. Because social media
So that's
right
not what
now.
I was gonna say, actually.
Oh, okay, fine. But social media to me is just I find no merit in it anymore because this is what people do. They throw the spears for a little bit. They throw the spears and they stop throwing the spears and they throw it here and it goes, oh, their career's done. No, it's not. Throw the spears. Throw the spears. Throw the spears. Throw the spears. It's like no. I'm tired of it. I'm so fucking tired of it.
Same here.
It's awful. So when people like,
If you
I'm not saying what he should have done. That he should have said.
No, I know.
But
I happen to actually really like Pete Davidson.
yeah, and
but that's not what I was going to say. What I was going to say was through social media, we have seen in the past year and a half that he's like clearly having some kind of a meltdown.
He's bipolar. Is that what he said he was?
I don't know exactly what
Okay.
his,
He said
but
he was.
I think he just based off of being a fan of his and watching what's been happening, like with after
He got
Ariana and
She's crazy.
I don't know if that's what happened, but
Oh, yeah,
I
they're not
think he
together anymore, no.
is snapping slowly
Right.
but surely,
Right.
or having an episode or whatever it is. And I feel like he needs to, instead of taking more work,
Take less and chill out a
I
little
mean,
bit.
because when
It's a
you're
small
on
role,
stage
though.
and you just start yelling at everybody
Right.
and saying you're a bunch of art, whatever,
Snap. But was
I
he
think
doing
that
it
he's
comedically,
not.
or was
No,
he
no,
was
no,
mad?
no,
He
he
was
flipped.
mad.
He flipped.
Oh, he was mad.
It was
yeah,
like-
put your phone away. You guys are all a bunch of.
Okay.
Think about
it
how
was
the
not.
times
It was
changed,
not
though.
part of
Yeah.
a joke.
Michael
Yeah.
Richards.
Like
Tropic
the other
Thunder.
day,
Yeah.
Jeff Dye posted a video of his, and he used the R word in a joke of his, and it was actually really funny because he was doing a bit from the '90s in his thing, and then he said it, and the crowd goes silent. He's like, "Guys, don't forget this is me in the '90s. This is me today. Like, I would never say that today. Whatever." To me, it was funny because,
Right.
like you
And
said,
did he
you
get
can
killed
make
for it,
anything.
too?
I have no idea if he got
Oh,
killed
okay.
for it or whatever, but it was at least part of a joke. This
Right.
was
This
he-
is him just
he
screaming at
just
people,
started
yelling
like,
at people.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
The word shouldn't be used in general, but it's like, but there's again, like where you were coming. I know where you were just goofing on your friends, and I understand also why the woman was offended because she's she's raising
I
a
think
child.
we've all literally done exactly what you just
Yes,
did, where
'cause
we
we
take
grew up-
terminology, like the F word, what for gay people that we used to use growing up.
All
That
the
like
time.
now when I look back, I watched a video of myself from when I'm like 12, and I used that word
Yeah.
towards my mom, and I was like, oh my God, I
Right.
can't believe I don't even remember ever saying that in my life, but
Literally every time your buddy did something stupid, you called him that word.
Right. Yeah.
All of the time.
and so people grow and they learn and
And we are learning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
sometimes we're going to slip up. We're human beings. That's why I never understand. Dave Chappelle kind of put it really
Yeah.
well with his whole rant about Kevin Hart.
Right,
Where he's like, Kevin
that's
Hart's
right.
great. He's an
Right.
incredible human being. He's awesome, except for 3 tweets, and everybody wants to cancel him.
Yeah.
3 tweets 10 years ago.
And that's kind of what I'm saying.
And it's like, guys, we're human. We're gonna mess up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And
100%.
look, I went through a thing to where, and not even close to that, about being a fucking idiot and screaming about a fucking theme park, right? I got destroyed by everybody.
I mean, that was very, very interesting, though.
Yeah, no, and listen, and rightfully so. The people were,
No,
I came out, and I told people, it was a stupid thing, it was a moment, whatever, too. But, and it wasn't the people. Honestly, it wasn't the fans that it was like that were because I understood where a lot of them were coming from. It was people inside the space that were like, fire him. Get rid of him.
It's absurd.
Fire him. I have children.
Yeah.
I have children, and it's just like, I understand what I did, and I understand that it was a stupid thing when I screamed it out, and I apologize to the people that I hurt with it, all that, scream at the theme park. But there are people like that work in space. Fire him. Yeah. Fire. It was like that's where we go right away.
Yeah,
and I'm just me with it. Everybody. Everybody's fire them. Fire them. Do this. Get rid of them. You should be. It's like it's because you have this. This is why Chappelle. I think that what he was saying about Kevin Hart. It's true. It's like you don't know people. Like there was someone that we worked with, like not worked with, but we knew that's like. I know things. You hear things, buddy. You should be out of there. Like, and I'm like, dude, like we've never even had a conversation.
Whatever
before.
happened to changing the channel? Like, if you didn't like something, not watching. Right. I don't understand where people get on this high horse. Well, it's social media now because everybody has a voice, and they're like, "Oh, my voice is valued. Fire that person. They're gonna listen to me."
Because back in the day,
like, come on, guys, just don't pay attention to it.
Back in the day, you had to like take your time. Hampton Yund, who's an amazing comedian, had this bit about people that write letters, right? Because you got to be like so upset that you're like, I'm going to write the letter, and you got to take it to the post office. Like the whole like system of that whole thing was back in the day. If my parents were like, I don't really feel like I want you watching some Madonna videos on MTV, so we're going to turn the channel.
Justify my love.
Right? Yeah. I'm just not going to write like a full page letter to MTV and yada yada yada.
Dude, there was a girl that I went on a date with probably like 3 years ago. Very nice. I know, right? Well, before Ashley, she went on dates before me too. But it was only a couple dates. We hung out. She was very nice in person. Liked her a lot. Didn't go anywhere, right? But she was a fan of the show. And so fast forward, like I don't know, 6 months later. I see this was Rachel picked Brian. Rachel was a bachelorette. She picked her husband, fiance at the time, now husband Brian.
Rachel was the first Black Bachelor, right?
Yes.
I think I tuned in for an episode of that.
Rachel
it was a couple of
Lindsay.
years ago, right?
Yes, she got some controversy because her number 2 was Peter, and he was very popular, and everybody wanted to pick her, but pick him. But whatever, she loved Brian. She wanted to go with Brian. So anyway, that I see Rachel post a picture saying like me and my new fiance, like celebratory. That girl on Instagram, who I've met, very nice, very normal, posted a comment saying, "Good luck with your shitty husband." And it's like in my head, I was like, I only thought that.
This is the one you went on a date with?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I messaged her and I was like, why would you write that?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know. I was so angry. I immediately regretted it. I've already deleted it.
Angry what? Because she watched the TV show
Because
and
she was
thought,
so angry about the show. Like when we watch it and we're like, why would they do that? That's so stupid. And she felt like so enraged about it that she felt like she needed to post about it. And it was so crazy to me because all the time when I see comments like that, I'm like, that person is just insane.
But
and I know that this person is just
not insane. And that's exactly right. It's the perception of it. Because you see a couple comments and you go, well, that's exactly who that person is when you don't know the kind of day the person was having. And the same thing with comments. There's someone in this comment section right now that has written horrible things and very well might be a horrible person. But there's also someone
probably
who
about me.
Oh, well, but there's someone else that wrote some horrible things that's just having a bad day. That's why a lot of times I just kind of let it pass.
You have to, but it's also not an excuse.
No,
it's
not an excuse at all.
I think it shows the human condition that people like they think that whatever they say in their living room now because of social media, they feel the need to post it and for other people to see.
And they don't see you as people.
You know what the crazy
part
is that we are part of a very large majority of people. It just so happens that the vocal minority is way more vocal. And those are the people that you see. Like, I posted a picture of me swimming in Big Bear, and some dude posted, and that's why Amanda posted this tweet about, I wish there was a dislike button on Twitter. I was like, welcome to Twitter, babe. It took you about a month to get over the honeymoon phase, right? Of realizing that Twitter can be a trash hole. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, the first time I watched you on Collider, I figured you were gay. And I was like, because I can swim? Like, swimming is gay now?
Right.
Like, right? So that vocal minority is the person that ruined your day.
Yeah.
The non-vocal majority are like the nice people that you meet in person.
But that's
or
my
whatever.
point, though. Is like that guy, like that wrote that.
Yeah.
What was going on with that guy? Is he just a dicky douche, or is he a guy that he was just like that day? Just and again, not an excuse.
Some of them, Christian, have a vocabulary that
you feel it's hateful.
I'm physically not capable of. Like I get on the opposite side of that. Like this morning, I woke up, nice tits, love those bulges coming out of your chest or whatever. Like I'm not.
Well, that's just a disgusting.
That's an animal. That's an animal.
I don't think that you guys in this room are capable of that. Like that's not the dialogue that you have. So you wouldn't write that on your worst day because that's not like
that's a different thing.
What comes into your head.
That's a different thing.
It's the same thing with hate speech.
Yeah.
Like there are some things that you don't say because there's no point in life you've thought that.
I don't disagree with you when it comes to like certain things with certain hate things. Like there's things you just like, for example, that you gave like for the shitty husband thing, right? That was a girl who got caught up in the show, wrote that thing, immediately regretted it.
But that's not speech that we wouldn't say. That's exactly
That's
what
what I
I'm
mean.
talking
I'm
about.
saying when you call somebody, if you start going racist stuff or hateful stuff or things like that, that's a built-in thing that, you know, for some reason you don't believe that the other person is going to see it. You don't care.
I think people just forget about the ramifications of social media and the fact that everybody sees it. Because there was even a comment under a picture recently. Because Ashley and I, of course, we're reality TV personalities. We're going to get hateful comments. Like, that's what we kind of signed up for. And so somebody was posting about how they knew that we got a free wedding, which was completely fabricated. And they knew that we got a free honeymoon, and they knew all this stuff. And then they were writing, like, it's so crappy that they wasted their special day for free promotion, blah, 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 blah. And then somebody commented back to was like, why are you writing this stuff? And she commented back, she's like, oh, like they're going to see this comment of their million comments.
Right.
And the picture had like 140 comments. And I was like, what do you think we're not going to see that?
Do you
It's like,
respond?
I think I did, but the problem with responding is that I feel like I only
worms.
exactly. I feel like I only cause more hate because then everybody targets that person because they want to jump on the bandwagon because they're like, oh, Jared defended himself, and then they're like,
they
yeah,
legit
go
want to support
Jared.
you, right?
Yeah, but I almost feel bad because, like you said, I think from seeing that comment from somebody I know who got caught up in the moment, I'm curious, like, is that person not to say that it's an excuse to write a bad comment, but I also don't like when people just like harp on it and they're like, yeah, screw that person, you go.
It's the
go.
mob mentality.
Exactly. I'm like, just it's almost better if nobody sees it, and because as soon as I comment back or one of us comment back on our own social media, everybody sees it.
Well, that's what we were just talking about earlier. Is that the positive of going on a show like that is that it helps you and your business and build your audience. The negative is that everybody has access to everything that you do, and it's like all the good people and all the bad people.
Yeah, my level of fame, which is very minuscule, but it's only because of my fame, if that makes sense. Like I'm not popular because I'm a musician or an actor or like have created all this different content. It's just like I was on a show and I gained a following, so that's like always kind of in the back of my head. I think that's why a lot of people are just
let me be your friend here. The initial part of that was true. You've done things very differently than a lot of those people have done. You like Chris Harrison said it himself. When you had that microphone in your hand, you're a very good host.
Oh, thanks, bud.
You know your shit. No, but I'm saying that. But you like the fact that it's like building it up. You start. It's how you build on anything. Like when you get like even shit. When I used to go on AMC Movie Talk. Right away, a couple more followers would come in too. But it was on me to then give those new people some content for them to stick around with. Same thing like Josh going on Schmoes and then building that off to the Josh McCouga show. It's like you got to be able to build on.
Totally, but I guess my point is I think a lot of people, and I almost don't blame them, there's like, why is this person, why are you following this person? Who is this? Because like well before the show, I used to have the same thing about like the Kardashians. And I'm like, what do they even do? What are they famous for? And now obviously being in the business, I have a better understanding of like, wow, it's a lot harder to just stay in the limelight than anybody could possibly ever imagine. But I never knew that until being in this industry.
Do you think it'll be more challenging for you guys to stay in the limelight now that you are married, or less challenging?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously, it's weird dynamic to talk about because I remember when Ashley and I first started dating, I remember I was having a very difficult time because I think you have to talk about certain things as a business, and it was so foreign to me. And I think Ashley put it best one time. We like had a sit-down conversation, and we were like, we love each other. The most important thing is each other, but we also have to understand the circumstance that we're in. Yeah. And that like it's Ashley and Jared, and it's this like thing that people want, like they follow us because of that. And it was just this weird dynamic that I've never been introduced to, and so. Like people all the time, they ask about the wedding. Like anytime we did an interview, the first thing, what about the wedding? Who's coming to the wedding? What Bachelor Nation is going to come to the wedding? Who's officiating? Blah, 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 blah. And so I think it's one of those things that, yes, that is a factor, but it's also way down the list because we didn't get married for that reason. We didn't get married to stay in the limelight. We got married because we love each other and we want to spend the rest of our lives together. But of course, it's a factor, and
Right.
to deny that is to deny reality.
What's the goals then afterwards? Because you guys are, I mean, you have your podcast that does.
Yeah.
She does her podcast very well.
Yeah, she kills it.
Yeah, she does very well with it. And then you have, do they keep, because you guys have become very popular, whether you show up at Bachelor in Paradise, you're always on something, you're always, guys are in the limelight. Because
Yeah,
you
we're
have,
always doing something.
Characters on the show, you know? So is that something that you're going to continue to do with those guys?
Oh
Or
yeah,
you are going to be doing more stuff
I think,
with them.
especially in today's Hollywood, it feels like you just, as you guys well know, you have to spin like 9 plates at
Right,
one time.
right.
Have your hands in so many different aspects of the industry because that's the way you succeed now. Like even look at someone like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is a big inspiration to me because that guy. I mean, you knew that guy 15 years ago, where everybody he was done WWF and he did the Scorpion King, and people were like, "Oh my God, The Rock's trying to become an actor now." And look at that guy. He's a producer. He's a director. He's an actor.
Host.
He's a host.
Yeah.
He does all these different shows. He's the biggest movie star in the world. He has his Instagram is pretty much like a reality show for himself,
Yeah.
and he's so good at it. Mark Wahlberg. He
Right.
does the Wahlburgers. He produces. He acts. It's
Will
like
Smith, same thing. His Instagram is
Yeah.
like the
Well,
most
Vin Diesel.
entertaining.
his
Vin
YouTube.
Diesel, too.
He has his own YouTube
Yeah.
where it's like a docuseries he puts
Totally.
every week. So
Yeah.
it's like, so I think that's kind of what Ashley and I are working towards, and we don't know what's going to happen,
Right.
but it's just kind of like doing the things that we enjoy, doing projects that we believe in, and keep working, and see what happens. You know,
Can we? Because I don't know if we'd be able to do it now anyway because it's over. Can we tell the audience what that great sketch was that we were going to do with Ashley?
Yeah, because we'll never do
Because
it.
we'll never do it. All right. So here's
What happened?
I'll tell you.
Oh, was this?
So let me tell you. So when Jared and Ashley were just friends.
Yeah.
And
You guys had come on the first Schmodown Awards was when I first met you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I met you before, but first time I met Ashley was when.
First time
because
I met you was the Schmoes No Show.
Yeah, yeah.
Where we played Seinfeld trivia.
Yes, we did.
Or it was like Seinfeld and Bachelor.
Yeah.
Well, so Jared
Exactly.
Jared and I started hanging out and talking and stuff too, and then he started hanging around. He really dug the Schmodown, and he wanted to do some stuff. And then because him and Ashley were friends, so
Yeah.
he brought her around. And her and I started to hit it off. And I said, well, listen. I want to do, because she knew I was a producer on The Bachelor at one point. I said, we want to do this show. Makuga and Ken and Riley had written this brilliant sketch. And it was right after Stranger Things season 1 came out. And they were going to call it The Barbchler, right? And it was
Because
basically.
everybody was like, it was justice for Barb. Barb was like the biggest thing on the internet after Stranger Things because it was like, why did everybody care about Will, but nobody gives a shit about Barb?
Barb.
Like, justice for
and it was
Barb.
before Barb blew up and had all the shirts and everything
Yes.
too, and everyone loved her. And what the whole thing was going to be, they found dead Barb, and she was going to be the Barbchler. And the other one, it was between two girls. It was her, and it was going to be Ashley, who was legit from The Bachelor. And it was like all these different like people. We had the house. We had
And Jeremy Johns was playing The Bachelor because it was his show. It was Awesome Tech.
right. And so they were the two. They were the two. They were the
Wait,
final
you actually
two.
got whatever Shannon, whatever Barb.
No, we're gonna.
No.
I think
We had
Grace was
Grace,
gonna
'cause
do it.
Grace kinda
was
looks
gonna
like
do
her.
it.
She's
Yeah.
got red hair,
Yeah,
she's got
yeah,
long
yeah.
red
Grace,
hair.
because Grace is. We were gonna like give her. We were gonna give her the suit and
she
everything
got
too.
glasses. Like it was a scene.
But anyway, so we had
So
it.
whole
Grace,
production,
Gra-
Roxy.
we
Grace
brought
was-
it, and Grace was like, "Yes, let's
She
do
was-
it."
Grace
She's
was-
so on board.
She was very excited.
Both of them very talented people. Grace is literally one of the hottest people I've ever seen
Yeah,
in my
but
entire
when you
life.
but
Like,
when you
just-
put the rig on her,
totally,
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
she was the one that we worked in the office that looked most like Barb.
and she really wanted to do it. But anyway, it was supposed to be between the final two, and it was great. It was going to be Grace as Barb dead in the Upside Down. The whole thing was going to take place in the Upside Down, and it was going to be Jeremy Johns as the Bachelor with Ashley as the runner up, and doing the ITMs and all that stuff, and doing a full on episode.
It was very, very funny.
Why don't you still do it?
It got nixed at
won't
the
do
last
anything.
minute. We had everything set up. We had done all the scouting.
We missed
everything. We missed the boat on it.
Yeah, we just missed the Barb.
Well, Justice
And
for
plus, the
Barb.
show's not happening anymore too. It was for
Yeah,
Awesome
it was-
Tacular, but
yeah.
it was
Make money for
the
it.
first time it got nixed because of rain.
Yes.
And then the second time, Powers that Be just thought that it wasn't going to work. and
We
cut
had the
it.
wrong
Yeah.
powers that be.
But,
Oh, that's
but
depressing.
But that was it.
Do you
That
know
was it.
Ashley went to did you meet Ashley before me or no? I can't
No,
remember.
you introduced me to Ashley after.
She
Yeah.
went to she went to a Schmodown before I did though. She went
Yes,
for me.
that's right.
God, I'm
Because
such an
you weren't-
idiot.
That's right. You weren't
Such an
You
idiot.
weren't living here.
She went to
yet.
Hector. She went because she wanted to become closer with you because
Yeah.
she knew how much of a fan of Collider and Schmoes I was.
But why are you an idiot?
Because he wasn't
we were just
dating
friends
her.
at that point.
Yeah, he was
And
just-
she
just my
she
friend.
went because you invited both of us,
Yeah.
and I wasn't living in LA. I'm in Rhode
Right.
Island. She's like, "Oh, I'll go," and she did it because she
did.
wanted to keep the friendship and connection
Yeah.
going.
That's really
and she went
cute.
to Hector Navarro's. I think it was Inner Geekdom at the time.
Title match, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was when he defended against who did he defend?
She was probably like,
was
"What the
it
f- is
Germany?
this?"
She enjoyed herself.
Yeah, but you
She always
guys
does.
came to the spectacular. You brought Nick with you to the spectacular.
Yeah,
It was funny.
Nick like ditched after 5 minutes.
Probably didn't know what the hell it was.
Nick was like, "Yeah, I gotta get going."
Yeah, he didn't know what it was. But anyway, so it's we are going to turn on the phone lines too.
Yeah, 'cause
so
we got a giveaway to
We
do.
have a couple giveaways. We're going to Arizona. Shit, man, a week from Saturday, we're going to be in Arizona for the Schmodown. So we're giving away 2 VIP tickets. Or we're going to be one today and then 2 tomorrow. Is that right?
We have
2 meet and greets.
2 meet and greets
For
today.
Schmodown today.
And then 2 VIPs tomorrow.
I got it. Okay, so
Correct.
2 meet and greets today, and we also are giving 1 copy away. Which one today? Today's
So we have Rocket Man giveaway. We have a grand prize, which includes the Blu-ray, a jacket, glasses.
I have all this.
Karaoke
And the mic. Yeah, I
and
have
then
all of it.
2 Blu-rays to 2 other winners. So
Great.
1 grand prize and 2 Blu-rays.
What
those
is
glasses.
the call-in number?
It's flashing.
I know. I
Oh,
just
you
want
want
to know what it is.
Can we give him the call-in number, guys?
Yeah, the call-in number's up.
No,
Yeah, but I just want to hear it.
Roxy needs it.
So
323-522-5515.
It's a great
He sounds-
phone number.
Five
Whose
one
voice is
nine
that?
five.
That's Adam Smith.
323-522-5195.
Welcome to Movie Phone.
5 what?
5515.
5515. So 522-5515.
It's a great radio, guys.
Really is.
All right, here we go.
Why
All
don't
right,
you
so
just tell me the
Is
name
that
of the
right
movie you
or
want to
no?
see?
just tweet. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So all right, here we go. So let's open up the phone lines, and we'll get
You guys all
some
fucking
people in.
talked over him, and then I couldn't hear it,
All right.
and then I
Hey.
get dicked on.
Hey, you're on Collider Live. Don't get dicked on. Who's this?
Hey, this is Travis from Florida. How we doing?
Hey, Travis. What's going on? What do you got for us today?
I hear you guys. I had a question for you guys. I want to
Sure.
see if you guys got the same train of thought as I do. And I think it's kind of funny because you were working on The Bachelor and you got Jared from The Bachelor, so I think this might be apropos. Perfect.
Great.
Now, I could be wrong on this. I just know it by osmosis. Is it me, or are there, like, no guys that are, or have been no guys that are just average schmoes, or Joes, I guess you could say. Where it's
Average
like, they're not-
dudes.
Yeah, but it's like they're not really athletic looking. They're not thin, trim, or kind of built. They're just kind of like
Well, there's been a couple
a
different
dad
shows
on
about
on
that.
a Sunday.
Well, yeah, I think here's what usually happens, and Jared, correct me if I'm wrong. This is usually what happens. They do bring guys in like that, but those guys know that they have about 3 or 4 months to go before they're going to be on one of these shows, or they've already been on Bachelor, Bachelorette, and they hit the gym heavy. And so all these guys come in with these beach bodies where they didn't have that beforehand. As far as the personality goes, I think that's one of the reasons that Mike hasn't got that much screen time, and he can't find a lot of these girls. I think he's the most normal dude next to Jared that I've seen on that show. He seems pretty normal. No, but
Fuck you, Christian.
that's why you're sitting here right
He
now.
looks like Tom Cruise.
No,
you jagwagon.
thanks. But
I'm not talking about looking. I'm
Travis,
talking
I
about
find myself-
personality.
Oh, okay.
And like I find myself like I'm confident in who I am. Please, this is not trying to pick for compliments, but I find myself very average. Like I have like a fang tooth, and like my
It's
facial
hideous,
hair grows
man.
in
It's
capacity,
terrible.
and I don't have like this super jacked body. I find I'm 6 feet. I'm not short, but
Right.
like most of the guys that go on there are 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". So I find that they get like a lot of
Muscle dudes.
Yeah.
Hot
And so
bros.
that's what they're doing. They're
Right.
trying to. But there's a lot of like Tanner Tolba. I don't know if you remember who Tanner is. He's married to Jade. They have a couple kids now.
Cirque your best bud.
Yeah. Tanner's the man. But he's just like the most.
Yeah.
He's just like.
And Dean's not
dad
jacked
bod.
up. He's a good-looking guy, but he's not jacked up.
No, yeah, but his face makes up for it.
Yeah.
I know. I just love that guy. I know it's weird.
I don't think it's weird at all.
So
He's your friend.
Smash cut,
speaking of
Dean
which,
and Roxy.
thank you for the phone call. By
Thank
the
you,
way,
Travis.
We'll get.
Are we not going to do a giveaway?
we're gonna do a giveaway. Well, I want to make sure that people, if they're calling in from like Florida, we probably could give it a ticket.
Exactly.
No, but not
no,
for
not the
AZ.
ticket. We
He
got
could've
the
used the
Rocket Man giveaways. That's what we're
next time.
doing
We'll
this
do the second
for.
one. There's something else. Oh yeah, next week, by the way. So okay, hold that call. You and Dean, either Tuesday or Wednesday. You think you can make it happen?
I think I can. I got to talk to. Oh, I can't Tuesday or Wednesday.
No, sorry.
No,
we'll do
we
the
leave
following.
Monday.
All right, we'll do the following. All right. So
Never stops.
Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
I'll get him on.
Hang
though.
up on him.
I want him to come on
Yeah, you
here.
got
He'd love it.
Yeah, you got it.
Should be good
I-
now.
all right. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hi, this is Sydney from Atlanta.
Hi, Sydney from
Sydney.
Atlanta. So the obvious question: what question do you have for Jared?
No, it's gonna be Collider.
Oh, I thought y'all were doing the Rocket Man giveaway.
No, we are. Okay, I just thought.
Perfect.
I know. I just thought the obvious that you were going to call in. I was wrong.
She's my favorite. Give her it.
I
Give
don't
it to her.
have a question.
You're just calling in for the Rocket Man. Okay, so McCooks, go ahead.
Have you seen Rocket Man yet?
Yes, I have.
It's awesome, right? It's so good.
I love it.
Awesome.
So good.
Okay, so you get I'm going to ask you 2 questions. If you get it right, you get the giveaway. And if you're on Twitter or Instagram, Mark Riley will reach out to you and make sure that they get sent to you. Cool?
All right.
All right. So Roxy does this before every episode of Collider Live.
Oh, gosh.
Farce.
You don't know the answer?
Of course I do.
Oh. Do you know the answer?
I mean, I think I do.
It's not like...
It seems very obvious.
Yeah.
I'll give you a hint. It has to do with social media.
Yeah, okay, I know the answer.
Has to do with what?
Social media.
Social?
Social.
Oh, she tweets out a picture.
Yeah, we'll give it to you. She takes a selfie, but we'll give it to you.
All right, so
okay.
How many give it? I think one for question from now on. If you're going to do 2 now, fine, but I think one.
But it's for a big DVD.
It's
15 minutes.
Blu-ray.
Plus.
Okay, it's Sydney.
jacket.
It's Sydney, right?
Yes.
There you go. What is the name of the pizza place in Christian's hometown?
Oh man, that I love.
That he loves. We've said it on the
just
show a
visited
bunch of times.
It's the one in New York, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that the one y'all are talking about?
Yes.
VI
Yeah.
Pizza?
VI Pizza. Sydney. All right.
Sydney repping all the vaginas all over the
job.
world, baby.
Nice
Sydney,
job.
are you on Twitter or Instagram?
I am. It's Sid the Real Squid, SID.
All right.
Sid,
You are the
Great.
real
Just,
squid.
just hit up Mark
me up.
Riley. Yeah.
hit up Riley.
Hit me
around.
up on Twitter.
Thanks, Sydney.
Thank you, Sydney.
All right, thank you.
All right, cool. Sydney wins the first. So now we have. So that was the big package.
That was the big package.
All right. So
That was a big package.
All right. Oh,
Nice.
nice.
That was a good
Got her
punch.
back. That was a good shot.
Damn.
All right. So then because that was the big punch. I said that was the big one. So you get 2 questions for that one. We'll do 1 question for the just the
Yep.
copy. And
Yep.
Riley, we got to have. You know what we'll do is we'll ask the callers when they call in if they want to play for either Rocket Man or the VIP
I thought we
tickets
only
to
have 1
Arizona.
copy to give away.
We have 1 copy of the big package, 2 Blu-rays.
2 Blu-rays.
okay.
All right. So let me know when the next call comes in. Sounds good. It's yeah.
Maybe if they gave
and
out
we
the
also-
number
And we
better.
have 2 more Blu-rays.
We have 2 more Blu-rays, and then we have 2
2
meet and greet
meet
tickets.
and greet tickets.
But those come as
Okay.
a pair.
Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey guys, it's Luke. I actually won the Showdown tickets last week, so I had a good time at the show on Saturday night.
Nice.
I just want to say, well done,
Thank
and
you.
I'm back to try my luck again for a Blu-ray.
For a Blu-ray, okay.
Okay,
So you're
got it,
going
got
for
it,
the
got
you're
it,
going
got
for the
it.
Blu-ray of Elton John. Here is the we have 1 of those left. We have 2 meet and greets left.
This is an actual Rocket Man / Elton John question.
2 Blu-rays left.
2 Blu-rays.
I just said that.
What is Elton John's actual name?
Reginald. Do you need a last name?
I would love the last name, but I'll
Google it.
if you don't know it,
Yeah.
I'll still give you
Is
the
there
Blu-ray.
is there a time clock?
Yeah, I'll give you a quick 30 to Google it. 1,
30's
I
a long time.
3.
I'm outside.
Use
You
your
don't
phone.
service
But listen,
outside?
you got Reginald. I'll give you
5.
Reginald. You get the Blu-ray.
All right,
All right, there we
go.
go. We're easy on.
It's
All right.
Reg
Collider
Dwight. Reginald
Live.
All right,
Dwight.
So then
Reginald
we have okay.
Dwight.
So that Blu-ray is gone. Now we have 1 left for Blu-ray.
Congrats, Luke. Luke,
One
make
left.
sure you reach out to
Luke,
Mark
reach out to
Riley.
Riley. So 2 meet and greets. So I would listen. If you're from Arizona, you should call in here.
Or the Nevada Greater
You're going to see
Southwest
the Wildberries.
area. Yeah.
You're going to see the Wildberries in person playing up against late to the party,
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa and Robert, and the main event, Bibiani versus Chance. Who do you got in those fights? You got late to the party versus Wildberries.
Come on, Wildberries, baby,
All right.
all day.
And
Come on.
Bibiani versus
Bad boys
Chance.
for life.
That's right.
It's Bibiani.
Bibiani. All right, hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
The Beast.
Hello, Collider. Your favorite Minnesotan, Chris Doman. How's everyone doing?
What's up, dude?
Chris? How was how did you enjoy New York?
It was a blast. It was such a blast to be there to see everything. And of course I got to meet Nico in person finally, so that was awesome.
Are you flying right now in an airplane?
No. You going through the tunnel with the windows down?
No, I should tell you, I'm just driving to work real fast. Wanted to call in.
Hell yeah.
Actually, ask a question that's sort of a follow-up from my latest podcast episode. I had Kaiser on, and I wanted to ask if this was a real thing.
Sure.
Is there an actual swear jar for when there's tapings for the Schmodown?
No, but there should be.
Yeah, no,
There
but
should be. I mean, you know what? I would never ask anyone else to join the Patreon ever again because I could fund the show for 6 years.
Yeah.
Talk to your partner in crime about that one.
Who's that? Ellis?
Yeah.
He doesn't curse.
And for the first time in the live show, in New York.
Oh, in New York, he said something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
All
was like, what,
I know.
Alice?
Do you have? Do you want to try to win one of these things here? Because you can also try to win a meet and greet and post it into the Facebook group if you couldn't go. So, do you?
Yeah, why not?
All right. So you're going for the meet and greet here.
Okay.
So Chris Doman trying for meet and greet. He's going to give these tickets away probably.
All right, Chris. Why do I ridicule Christian's Instagram?
Because he takes creepy shots of Patrick Stewart where he's barely even in frame.
That's correct.
That's good.
Well
That's
done.
good. But
Very well
pictures
done.
have been getting much better. you
Yes,
gotta admit.
they've been better.
They've been much better.
They've been better.
Okay, nice. All right,
there
Doman
you
gets
go.
a meet and greet. So hit up Riley. He'll get you the meet and greet, and then maybe you can do it. Maybe you can do a giveaway on either the Facebook group on Schmodown, or you could do something on.
Or you could come all the
Dedicated
way
to
from Minnesota to Arizona and see the Wildberries light the place on fire.
That's right. Well, he just did a New York trip, so I doubt that's going to
Well,
happen.
unfortunately, I won't make Arizona, but I will be there for Spectacular.
Okay, good.
So,
There you
Well, I
go.
won't be, so
Same.
no big deal.
All
So
right.
it can't be that spectacular.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
If you're
Jared.
out of town for that one too, it's going to be live this year, December 7th.
December 7th?
Yeah.
I'll be here.
All right, good. All right. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey, what's up, you fucks? I finally got through.
Oh,
Oh, hello.
Dad.
well done.
Yeah.
What's going on? Who do we got?
This is Braden from St. Louis.
Hello,
Hi,
Braden.
Hey,
All right, so
Braden.
Braden, are you playing for Elton
Blu-ray.
John or yeah? I would assume Elton John over the tickets to Arizona, right?
We don't have any more tickets there.
Yeah, we do. We have one left. You said
No,
we have two.
the meet and greet tickets are a 2-pack, so
A
one and a
2-pack.
guest.
Oh, it was one.
One and a guest.
And then we have 2 tomorrow.
We have 2
So just kidding. So you're playing for the Blu-ray?
Yes.
All right.
You got
so
no choice, Brandon.
Who do you got, Brandon?
Braden.
Braden, excuse me.
What do you got for us today?
Yeah, it's Braden.
Sorry, I'm such a fuck.
Okay.
What do you got, Braden?
You got anything you want to say, or you want to
just
just
wanna
play
go right
for
to
the
the question.
contest?
Well, I mean, I've been a huge fan. I've been watching since like 2014, like all the Force Awakens stuff.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, hell yeah, let's go.
All right,
cool.
let's do it.
All
Thanks
right.
for being a fan, Braden. You're a hell of a guy.
You
All
got
right.
great taste, Brandon.
What is the name of Christian Ruvalcaba and Cody Hall's YouTube channel?
It's a trick question.
I was literally just watching their Shape short film yesterday.
Oh man. So you know.
Amateur hour films.
Amateur hour film.
Right.
Pulled that out of nowhere.
Done, well
I'm so
done.
upset right now.
Well done.
I'm literally
What
so
happened?
livid.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Please reach out. Hold on a second. Reach out and get your Blu-ray from Riley. What are you pissed off about?
I called 31 times.
And you couldn't get in.
No, 31
Busy?
times I just called. I wanted that Blu-ray so bad.
Yeah, sorry
I have
about
not
that.
seen Rocket Man yet.
Do you want the digital copy that I have at home?
I'll definitely take that.
Okay.
31 times. 31
All right.
times. Didn't ring one time.
All right. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Jerry?
Hello, you're in Collider Live. Who do we have?
Bueller.
Hello.
Hey, it's Saul. How you doing?
Yay!
Saul.
Saul, there he is. So
Saul, how's life beyond the wall, my friend?
I
How's
know.
life beyond the wall?
Yes, Saul. So when you did I prove you wrong that nobody would know who you are when you came to New York to see us?
Oh, yeah, you sure did, buddy. That was something.
You weren't expecting that. You should have seen at the comedy club on Friday night.
I saw you post a picture that you did some stand up.
Yeah, but afterwards he
Crushed.
was. All these people were
Oh,
around.
the fucking dog got the bacon. God damn.
Sure, the dog did get
Oh,
the bacon.
fucking dog got the bacon.
But
God
he was
damn.
outside, and someone goes, "Look, it's Saul!" And I screamed, "It's Saul!" And the whole place just lost their minds. So, Saul, you had a good time in New York?
It was surreal on
Yeah.
a lot of occasions, but it was a great time. I really enjoyed myself.
I hear the beef between you and Roxy is toast.
Squashed.
It's squashed.
Bummer.
Well, you're referring to the East Village Peace Accords that were signed. And evidently, yes, it seems like that is the situation at this moment. But
Are we applauding for this? Roxy doesn't look happy.
No, no, I'm just sad. I like having beef with people.
Yeah,
I miss
let's
my
go
beef
on The
partner.
Bachelor.
Yeah.
Bachelor.
Do you think, Saul? Do you think Roxy would be perfect for The Bachelor?
yes, which is why she shouldn't do it.
All right. So what else you got for us today, Saul?
No, excuse me. I had a really great time on Saturday, but I was a little floored because I wasn't expecting to have my photo on the motherfucking internet.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, by the way, I have blonde hair, not red hair. My beard is red.
Yeah, but
strawberry
giant,
blonde.
But giant.
But you wore a hat.
Yeah.
What's that?
You wore a hat, so all we could see was your beard.
I wasn't wearing a hat.
He wasn't wearing a hat.
Something was on
Yes,
your
it
head.
was.
Why did your
His
hair
hair.
look red?
See, this is what I told you, Roxy. I told you you wouldn't remember anything.
That's not me not remembering. That's not me not remembering. I just literally like the way I'm picturing you in my mind. Oh, it's because the picture that they photoshopped you in. That's what happened.
Oh, right. Looks like it had a hat. Yeah. So, well, good song.
But you do have red hair.
Red facial hair.
No, I have a red beard. I have blonde hair.
That's interesting. You're like
I don't feel
you're
like that's true.
You're like Neapolitan ice cream. You've got the blonde head,
Blonde on top.
Yeah, it's strawberry on the
Saul,
bottom.
you're not on social media, so it's hard to prove you wrong. But I really do feel like you don't have.
Yeah, I think you need to. I think you need to make a Twitter account and just call it Saul Bacon.
Saul Bacon.
Oh, fuck that. No way. There's my boy who I went and saw the Schmodown with called me. Well, he was online, and he's like, "Hey, when are you getting here?" I was like, "I'll be there any minute." It was right before 7.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, there's someone they're talking about you online." And I go, "You mean on the line you're standing on?" He's like, "Yeah, both that and on the internet." And I go, "Is this something I can't handle personally? Because I'm going to be there in a few minutes." He's like, "No, they like you, stupid."
That's so good.
something I can't handle personally?
Was that
New York
was that the
response
first?
to that,
Was
too.
that the first time that your friend had seen a Showdown?
Yeah, no, he was. It was the first time we saw it live. I got him into it a few months
Oh,
ago.
okay. What do you think
and
about
he
the
was
live?
like- we were really fucking into it. We were playing along.
Good.
We were busting each other's balls.
Good.
Some guy in front of us was evidently. He told me later there's a guy in front of us was taking pictures of me, which was fucking creepy. And
probably me.
I was also walking through Penn Station that night, and someone took a picture of me, which I didn't like. And
Don't fuck with Saul.
I'm
guys.
telling you.
Don't mess
I
with Saul.
love it.
feel like he has red hair.
I'll show you the picture during the break. Saul's become.
I'll send you a picture if I don't know how to do it because I
You're like my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so I have a question for you, Saul. I have a real quick question for you because you're the best. I think you're a great dude. I'm bummed I didn't get to meet you, but one of these days. So,
likewise.
You're not on Twitter. You're not on Instagram, but you somehow found our show. What was like the process of that?
Well, he's on the internet. He's just not. He's not. It's my mother.
Got
My mother
it,
has
got it.
like she
Okay.
follows Twitter and all that stuff, but she doesn't do. She doesn't like actually tweet out, and that's how he does it. He found
Yeah,
it.
but what were you looking for on
Jedi
YouTube?
Council. He was watching Jedi Council.
I was watching Jedi. I have some very strong opinions and thoughts on Star Wars.
Right.
And then I found
Shocker.
Jedi Council, and I fucking fell in love with it. And then on my I have YouTube, and then I was going through my recommendations, and I was getting clip outs with Christian's face on it. I'm like, hey, that's Jedi Council guy.
Right.
Let me click on it, and then he
My
wasn't
mother
talking
does
about
the
Star
same thing.
Wars, but I stuck around.
And we're glad that you did.
Oh,
buddy.
we're glad. Yeah, look at that.
Jedi
I'm
Council
telling
guy.
you, you should have heard. Like I said, I was flattered when I got a nice little round of applause when I went up there. Brett got a really nice round of applause. Mark, I don't think anybody beat the round of applause that Saul got on the street.
That's
like
awesome.
it was the whole street blew up, and he was not expecting it at all.
It's
Like,
awesome.
it was great.
And I was not expecting you to look like that, Saul, but I'm glad that you did because I can't wait for you to go as Halloween as Tormund Giantsbane.
I know it's
It's
true.
gonna be awesome.
Yeah, he's gonna be fighting in Floyd Mayweather next
Yes,
week.
correct.
Can we
yeah.
talk? Can Roxy, before we decided to have a truce, can I talk about how you literally chased me into 4th Street
Okay.
because you were yelling at me so much?
Everybody
Can we talk about
says
that, or is
that. Ugh.
Well, like that's what Snelling said. Remember?
I know.
But you were.
I get excited.
Yeah, but I think he. I think the difference is that Saul's an East Coast kid, and the fact that he got that. Like, I think he probably understood right away that it was coming from a place of
Did you,
love.
Saul?
This is what happened. So Christian Rubalcaba and I were going
Right.
to play a little trick on Christian, and then that happens, and then Christian says my name, and then literally my eyes, I get blinded because people started flashing, like people pull up like fucking phones in my face, and the flash was going off.
It's like
And then I
100
turn
people on the
around,
street. Yeah.
And then I could barely fucking see, and then I can see like this little over in the corner. I'm getting a finger pointed in my face, going, "Fuck you! You're supposed to be a kid. You're a kid, damn it!" And I look around and it's Roxy screaming at me, and everyone's laughing. And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" And then I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And then it just kept happening. It didn't stop.
Well, I sat. It was funny because I saw Roxy, I discovered first that it was Saul. So when I was looking over and Roxy was just talking to some fans, and I look over, I go, "Roxy!" She sees me, she locks eyes with me. I point to Saul and I go, Saul, and it's like in her head. Boom, 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 boom. Oh my God, motherfucker!
Yeah.
it was pretty great.
Yeah. That's
good.
It was great. Well, Saul, good. It was good. It was good talking to you, man. Appreciate it. Good meeting you, and I'm sure we'll talk to you probably tomorrow. All right, there's the great Saul.
I kind of wanted Scotty from Monterey to call in to play the joke on.
All right, we'll do one more. Well, there we go.
Jared.
Let's see who we got. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Last call of the day. Who do we got?
Hello, hi. You have Cheyenne.
Is this who I
the
think
song.
it is?
Collider.
Is this who I think it is?
Collider Live.
Keep going.
going.
Collider Live. The best show on the YouTubes. Yeah. Collider Live. It's Collider Live. It's Collider Live.
The Debba 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 Do is a gem that you left out the first time. Did you happen to see Conjure Club's video that he did of your song?
I did.
Do you like it?
I enjoyed it. Yes, very much.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Cheyenne.
So now we
the
have your
best.
name. It's Cheyenne.
Cheyenne.
But the thing is, I have a confession to make.
Yes, I think I know what it is. You don't have an accent for real, and it's a fake accent. Yeah.
No.
No. It's
What is it?
something about you, Roxy. She's
Yeah.
so foxy. I have an infatuation with you, Roxy. I am in love with you. Very much so.
Okay. Thank you, Cheyenne.
Cheyenne, I'll take it.
All right.
I'm going on The Bachelor, so we'll see how that
All right,
pans
we'll
out.
see if Cheyenne will be on there. So Cheyenne,
Cheyenne, the best person to have a crush on me.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
Is that Tom Degny?
I don't know, maybe, but I 100% don't think that's
a real accent.
I
No
think
way.
you're wrong.
You think it's real?
I know my man.
But I gotta tell you though, the dibba dibba doo.
He knows her man.
Yeah, the best. Oh, you're still on there,
he's
Cheyenne.
still- Oh, hey.
All right, Cheyenne, listen,
Hey.
we're going to let you go. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining us on Collider Live. Thank you to Jared Haibon.
Thank you for having me.
And for Josh McCouga, Roxy Stryer, Adam Smith. Adam, hit the music. And we have...
I'm trying.
All right. We have Mark Riley, Adam Smith, the whole damn crew here today. We're excited for you guys to join us here. Not that... Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. And then the theme music, Adam.
You didn't specify.
There you go. The SchmodownLive.com. Get your tickets for Arizona. We're going to be there next Saturday. Get them. They're going to be offering a little special promotion coming up here soon for those tickets as well. Then Orlando, you're going to have the Founding Fathers playing Corruption for the titles. And the singles tournament, the finale, is going to be on the undercard. So get your tickets there. Over 200 tickets already sold today. Thank you so much. We will see you guys tomorrow.